It's a long story, a place where we roll dice, we tell stories, and I've already said this, but we create magic. Very excited to jump into this. I know we all did this already, gang, but it's gonna feel so heartfelt as we have a player down. Jack is homesick, so everybody take a look at your camera, wave and say, "We miss you, Jack."
We miss you.
We miss you, Jack.
Good, Jack.
That was my plan all along. I just wanted you guys to do it twice.
Nice.
Welcome everybody. If you have no idea what this is, hi. We are a D&D live stream that runs 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Having 5 parties living, existing, breathing, if they breathe. In the because we have Warforged now. So in the same homebrew world though, the wonderful, beautiful world of Astera. So if this is your first time watching the channel, welcome. But if this is your second time watching the channel, I'm not welcoming you.
Oh shit.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That was not how I thought that was going to go.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not
We're
doing it.
serious now.
I mean,
Know your next move.
listen, you've already come to my house enough times. I don't have to hold the door open for you every time, do I?
Yeah, you only get one.
You only get one.
Yeah, one.
Yeah, one time, and then the rest you got to just open the door and come on in, and we
My
cannot
nightmare.
say hi to each other. Anyways, that's my intro. The only other thing is that if you're wanting to support the channel, which is a weird follow-up to what I just said, if you're wanting to support the channel, I promise it's worth it. But please like and subscribe where you're watching this. So whether that is on YouTube and or Twitch, that helps us a lot. So thank you so much. And you can always feel free to kind of comment, say hi. If you say hi, I will at least wave. I promise. If we're in the middle of something really heavy, I might like take a second and then just do like a little like this. So just like wait for that. But yeah. Thank you. You can also check out our Instagram and TikTok, which we have down below at It's a Long Story _TTRPG. We have our beloved Kay, who is not that Kay, very confusing, different Kay.
Every time.
Person named Kay. That is running that for us, and as always, Kay, thank you.
You the best.
You are the best. Some cool clips of some of our favorite moments, both comedic and dramatic, or just straight up cool. You can check those out. So yeah, please do that. Also, you can hit a thing to make sure that you're always notified when there's something new on there. I think it's called follow or like or something like that.
Then I can stop.
So that's there for you. Thank you. That is it for my ramblings for our intro. I believe we are ready to go. But before we do, we need to get a recap of where we left off with the Wreckless. So Evan, please take it away, sir.
Time for me to talk for 2 hours.
You can do it.
All right. First, yeah. So, okay. After yoinking Zed from his timeline, we all pop back to Nala's secret holodeck, which, by the way, we really need to ask about. And Zed is super pissed. Admittedly, like pretty justifiably pissed. We kind of stole him from his timeline and stuff. But anyway, he gets ready to go on the offensive, but Kara turns Kay invisible, and she knocks Zed the fuck out with the old 1-2 bonk combo. Copyright. Ogra, ever empathetic and concerned, immediately tries to heal Zed, waking him up before he can succumb to the bitter cold of the simulated homeland of Yaris's people that, Nala has created there. Zed notices Ogra's staff as he comes to, and it's the same staff that he smashed to pieces in his own timeline in a fit of rage, and he starts to sort of put the pieces together and listen a little bit to people, as the realization that he may never see his own timeline again, and that this new crew is made of barely functional fuck-ups. He just kind of improvised their way to surviving this long. Sets in. But apparently he thinks that's different than his own timeline's crew. Maybe he just didn't get to know them long enough. So arguments ensue. Carr kind of flips out. Nala flips out internally. We all agree to get out of the cold. And Ryaris stays behind to reflect upon the nature of self, epistemology, everything. And then he gets kind of bummed out that he looks old. Then he goes to join the rest of the group. Elsewhere, Nala takes Zed for a fun ride and vigorously asks him about their group called Azure, with some choking involved. Zed seems nonplussed and doesn't really know anymore, so she relents and flaps off by herself. We go see Carvis, who shrinks our new ship, which is cool as fuck. Then Zed somewhat secretly gives Carvis the cool watch thing he's wearing. The group catches up and chats with Carvis for a bit, who agrees to meet up with Dark Zed about talk and whatever he knows, which is a lot because Zed was about 2 or 3 years ahead in his timeline than we are now. So he knows some things. But yeah, then the group goes to Yuka's to get pretzel and beer, and Yuka is worn out from all the business and seems unable to conceive of any solutions to the problem that don't involve more seeds. Thinking of that, if she just dropped seeds and was allowed to, you could have a whole island of sentient trees if that's not put in check. So that's, yeah. I mean, it would be thousands of years in the future, I suppose. It takes forever for those to grow, but yeah.
But those people are fucked, man.
Yeah.
Would that be considered a hive mind?
Maybe at that point, because they're all could be connected by roots. Anyway, yeah, Carr talks to Clem and is he kind of sits by himself and is pretty shaken up, and it's very clear that the whole process of talking to his other selves and pulling Zed in and kind of not getting a sort of very forced consent to take him from his timeline. You know, he was in danger, but at the same time, you know, it was very emergency, and also maybe just pulling someone in from that and doing that whole process really kind of beat him up. So he was clearly pretty shaken. Yeah, Yoon goes to start the group is kind of chatting in general, and Yoon goes to start a story. Ryaris stops to invite Carr over, which at first he wasn't going to do. Then he notices that Ryaris is, you know, disappointed that he wasn't going to come in, and because Carr has been thinking that certain people in the group just generally don't like him, he was kind of confused. But he came over in person and sat down with us, ready to start the story. And then Zed went to go pout at the bar. And also Zed told us that the Port Casil, where, you know, right next to where Yoon's from, and the island of Faran, gets like wrecked in a really pretty short amount of time. I forget whether it was like a couple months or a couple years, maybe, but it was not that long. So the Sea Witch is coming for Casil, and Zed knows lots of other stuff too. So we got to get some information. I think that's about where we stopped. Yoon was just about to say once upon a time and start a story for the group. Didn't miss anything.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you, sir.
I think so, man. Nice.
Anything else you need to add? That was beautiful.
Eleanor's pure evil. Forgot about that.
Kaelonor's killing people? What you said?
Pure evil.
Super evil.
They deserve it.
Evan,
It's fine.
did you talk about Kaelonor's super evil and killing other people?
Oh, yeah. I wrote that, and I think she threatened to kill me if I said it. So
That's
I
a good
don't
mission.
have to say it.
Yep.
Yeah, that follows.
Yep, makes sense. Oh, I'm getting a message from Kay right now. Got it.
Cut the stream.
Okay.
Cut the stream.
Understood.
The stream will be back.
So as we start, Kaelenor, you bump up to level 20.
I
agree
got
with
problems
that.
now.
That's the right thing.
And
Level 20
and who
Kaelenor from another reality comes in.
and who would you like to? You get a wish spell, but it's only to kill one of your party. Okay, cool. Awesome. Evan, thank you so much. Anything else we need to add that is actually true?
I think
Cool.
that was everything.
Beautiful. And then some. Incredible. Great. Well, with that, let's go into our evening on the beach of Sway. As we come in to our let's try this one. As we come into our evening, we hear the sounds of the jungle that is not too far off, always within a stone's throw distance away. And we hear the sounds of the beach kind of just sort of washing up on the shore as well. But everybody is leaned in and focused now on a story that is about to take place as we look at Yoon. I will say, as this story is going about, I'd like you all to just kind of just mention, and feel free to, you don't have to go into grand detail about it, but like, where are you guys at in this moment? So like, where are you sitting at? Who do you think you're sitting next to? Things like that. So we'll start with Ogra.
I think Ogra would put herself in between Zed and Kaelinor, just being the buffer between them.
Zed and Kaelinor. Got it. Cool. So we'll say Kaelinor is probably on your, in my visioning of this, Kaelinor is on your right. Zed is on your left, kind of like just sort of like scooted just in, but definitely has enough of a, like, has a little more of an more than an arm's distance away from you all. Incredible. Kay, where are you? Or more importantly, like, what's your body language like? What are you doing?
I think Yoon is somewhat close to me, considering I had to point out Clem. So somewhere in, like, the eye line of, like, nudge, there's Clem energy.
Yeah.
My body language is very much upright, I'm listening, but I'm kind of just, like, not looking out the door, but I'm kind of, like, I am listening to you, but my eyes aren't focused on you, because it's awkward, that awkward head turn of, like, I gotta look up at you, so I'm gonna listen, but my head is straight. Just probably keeping an eye out on, I know we're in Sway, I know we're arguably safe, but still just clocking if anyone comes in that's a little meh.
Okay.
That's it.
You're at the bar with your eye at the door. Got it. Cool. Riaris.
I think Riaris would be pretty close to Yoon, as well as staying next to Carr, making sure, not aggressively so, but wanting to just be with Carr as long as he's sitting next to him. I think Riaris is happy with that. There's a little bit of worry in the back of his mind to make sure he knows Yoon is a bit long-winded and to make sure he doesn't fall asleep, because he is getting a bit sleepy at this moment. So I think he's happy, and he's kind of sitting back in that feeling of like, oh, this is good, but it's like post-Thanksgiving and you're like, now I'm going to go to sleep. Mm-hmm. He's going to try hard not to, because he is excited with the story.
Beautiful. I think on cue, Riaris, did you order World Toast at some point?
Probably at some point. Yeah.
Okay,
sure. Yeah.
On cue, I think the leftover World Toast that is on your plate, there is a branch that kind of like leans down in, and just has like a soft drip onto your plate of this nice warm, not maple syrup, yucca syrup. That's gross.
Syrup.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not great. Yeah. I won't think about it. I think when I see it, I won't think too much about naming it and just saying, okay, I got my dessert. I'll kind of pull it towards me, not hungry at all, but I'm sure I'll eat it anyway.
You got it. Beautiful. And Zed.
I'm probably sitting in a chair that is pulled away from the group, just out of arm's reach, keeping my eye on Kaelinor, and trying to view the doorway.
Cool.
Just in case.
Great. You got it. You see everybody around, somewhat leaning in and paying attention. You have the floor, sir.
Yeah, I think he kind of just got done telling Carr, "I love you too, buddy," and just kind of has. It goes from like a wry smile to kind of a sympathetic smile toward Carr, like just kind of, I kind of get it, like, you know, and then, yeah, he looks at everybody and begins. Once upon a time, a people who knew nothing but war and dreams staged a daring escape and somehow ended up here in the islands. On the island now known as Faran. They appeared suddenly, and as the story is told, the island was abandoned. Of course, we know that isn't true now, but that's just how it goes. So, they took refuge in the ruins they found on an island within an island in the city of Chukan. There's a great bridge to the island now called the Biyoyong Hao, which is a bit of an inside joke. So in the Loa language, it uses two water glyphs, and it simply means the bridge that is better than swimming. In Chukan, they found many treasures, relics from whatever civilization once built that place. As people do, especially ones created for war, many Loa soon grew restless and left the city. At the time, few ships came to the shores of Faran, but pirates are always looking for quiet places to careen and refit their ships, and before long, many Loa had their very own ships. And the story of the treasures of Chukan spread. For those who stayed in the city, there was something more there that fascinated and beguiled them. The tower. The Anbao. A word in some mostly forgotten language that simply means the garden. Near the heart of the city lies a smooth stone cylindrical building, 100 paces around. It's not like the towers we've seen, but it does share something in common with the last tower we were in. Namely, that it is upside down, with the majority buried deep in the stone. The stone around it, however, is impossible to even put a scratch in, and any attempts to dig under the tower were unsuccessful. Life in Chukan at first was chaotic. There were many traps. There were as many traps as there were treasures to find, and although the Loa share an inborn bond, they were also quite a bit more aggressive than we are now, and there was a great deal of fighting. The strongest naturally rose to the top, and others fought under them, their innate connection naturally forming into a kind of family structure with a primarch, a patriarch, and matriarch at the head. There was no real rule of law, and battles for control were without surcease. They didn't end. They just kept going. That is until the first Anbao were made. The mysterious tower drew many to its impenetrable walls, and some Loa began to meditate there daily, supposedly seeking an end to the cycle of violence. And one day, for some unknown reason, a door appeared for one such Loa. Park Beryast was the first known pilgrim allowed entrance to the heart of the tower, and when he exited, he was changed. He emerged with 3 shining points of light across his arm, and a plan for the city and for the Loa as a whole. He is said to have been as impervious to violence as the tower itself, to stop aging and to wield great power whenever the stars on his arm began to glow. The Kasil family claims that Batar Kasil was the first chosen to the tower, but the texts preserved by the Aurelian family tell a different story. Park formed what he called the Anbao after the tower itself, which I know it gets confusing, but the Anbao is the tower, but then also it's the group. Anyway, rather than seize the power, the Anbao were set up as a kind of check to the family system. won't go into the details, but essentially the Anbao could reject or nullify decisions of the ruling family in Chukan, and the lesser-starred Anbao would patrol the streets, keeping things safe, and be sent as emissaries to the other families. The tower itself was set to judge each person as they entered, presenting challenges on each floor, and an option to delve deeper or leave once each challenge was complete. But very little is actually known about the process because those that exited the tower quickly forgot almost all the specifics of the actual trials, as if waking from a dream. And even efforts to have scribes wait at the tower and question the Loa as they exited resulted in very little reliable information. As for who the tower chose, there really was no particular rhyme or reason to it. Not everyone who entered returned whole, or was given a point of light. Only a handful of Loa ever received 3 stars, and nobody knows if that's as high or low as the tower goes. Park wrote, the tower seemed to know what the city needed, and those chosen often fulfilled an unexpected role that would be apparent to someone with open eyes. He was always a bit of an idealist, though, and believed the tower had given the Loa a greater purpose and was preparing them for something. For a time, the city prospered. It was about that time that the Aurelian family became cemented as the caretakers and protectors of Chukan. And together with the Anbao, they worked to stop the general looting of the city and instead collected what relics remained, the objects, and chosen would sometimes exit the tower with, and what existed in the city, and put them in the family archive. The family structure of power and community within the Loa happened organically. It just seemed to fit. There's a natural connection between what were called hobgoblins and, for us, the Loa. And I'm sorry. Anyway.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah, it's this is something.
You need
I
something to
haven't
drink?
really
This
told
is-
before. You thank you. Yes. Anyway, besides the Aurelian family, other families. For the ports and important resources emerged. That's why we have the Casil, bought by the other families, and because the power and wisdom of the Anbao, Chukan transitioned from a source of wealth to the island to a more of an arbiter between the various families and their inevitable conflicts. A yearly festival is held there where challenges can be made and conflicts can be resolved in the Taobai, the arena there. From street merchants fighting over territory to the heads of families themselves fighting each other or fighting within their own family. The Loa are a contentious race. We like to fight, but we find a way to make it work. And any decisions for the good of the whole island can be voted on, and ties are resolved by the Aurelian Primarch. So, besides the name Bariast, most of what I just told you is available to anyone to look up in the Aurelian archive. What most people don't know, however, is that the tower hasn't opened a door for anyone at least a century. There's no information as to why it stopped, but having any information on what happened afterward could get you killed if the Anbao find you with it. So, you're welcome. As time passed, and no more Anbao chosen were appearing, there were less and less starred or Yoshing to protect the tower and to be sent as arbiters to different ports and families to keep peace. Territory conflicts and wars between families were more common, and some families outright forbade the Anbao from entering their territory. Some Anbao were specifically targeted and killed, and their numbers dwindled even more. So in secret, Batar Kasil, still alive due to the tower's gifts, called a council meeting for all the remaining Sanqing, 3-starred Anbao. There, he proposed a radical plan to hide the fact that the tower is no longer letting people in by highly restricting access to the tower and carrying out new secret ceremonies passed down from the tower, where they would indoctrinate members, alter their memories, and do what they needed to prevent Faran from erupting into all-out war. Park Berriast, ever the idealist, believed the tower had a plan, but they needed to wait and play the role the tower had given them. He was disgusted that Batar would corrupt the ideals and purpose of the Anbao. One of those ideals, however, was that the Anbao should never strike another chosen. He also saw how Batar had already won over the allegiance of most of the Sanxing, and even though some agreed with them, how splitting power would destroy the Anbao from within. And so, Park Berriast exiled himself, never to be seen again. And Batar carried out his plan and created the modern-day Anbao cult. The greatest threat to the organization then came from the Aurelian family and their records. So through a series of cleansings, refocusings, and whatever made-up nonsense they come up with, all records and relics of the tower were slowly destroyed or requisitioned and consigned to the cult's own hidden reliquary. The Berrias family disappeared over the course of a single generation, and the name itself was stripped from the histories of the Loa. The Anbao seized more and more control over the city and the island, and with no guiding force except their own power continued existence, became more and more corrupt. They had stripped power from the Aurelian family so thoroughly that Junshan, the previous patriarch, was pretty much openly known as a puppet, a recluse who buried himself in his collection of scraps and trinkets for his archive. As luck would have it, however, Leo Aurelian was my mentor growing up, and he was also the master archivist of the Aurelian library. So I spent a lot of time in the library as a child. Or Anyway, the clever old bastard tricked me into accidentally stumbling upon a hidden and warded section of the archives where Junshan, along with some of the previous heads of the family, had been collecting all that was left of the tower's legacy, along with this real story of Park Berriast and the true Anbao. And that's it, the end, I guess. It's not a very happy ending, but that's when I talk about the cult and the Anbao now, they're a military organization. They run the city. They have people in all of the ports. But the tower used to be something more. And just so you know, like I said, if anybody catches you with that information from the Anbao, it's the penalty is death. There's more to tell about a lot of different things, but that's about all I can do tonight. And now you know a little bit about my homeland.
And that's why I don't do none of that book learning stuff.
Right, get you killed. There's a lot about me and where I'm from, and the whole, I've probably mentioned it, that I am the current patriarch, which, I'll tell you this. The stars on my neck didn't come from the tower. They do glow in situations and when I use some of the power that I have, but they're not from the Anbao. However, in Chukan, I would be considered, as far as rule of law, both a patriarch and one of the Anbao. Which is problematic for the Anbao because then, you can't tell the patriarch what to do if they're already one of... It's very complicated and it has to do with some very old laws, but I represent a threat to their organization. So they've tried to kill me a few times, and then I, for various reasons, decided that I needed to go on a vacation. And a good friend of mine, who probably would have been patriarch if it wasn't for me, Junbei is taking care of things, handling things while I'm gone. If we go there, I have no idea what to expect. But it's probably not going to be welcoming. I still want to go there. I have unfinished business.
So do I.
But I don't want to put you to sleep, Riaris. Obviously, this is,
No,
it's a lot.
I wanted to say thank you. I actually, Car helped keep me awake. It was great. Is there like a safe harbor for us to get into? The Onbao or everywhere? They're looking to.
No, the Casil port might not be the best port for us.
Okay.
Papayar is on the eastern side of the island, and that's a possibility. The Onbao have some people everywhere, but they're not. The families are very hard-headed, and even though the Chukan is supposed to be this arbiter, they're not gonna. They still don't just let the Onbao control them completely. There's a lot of shadow kind of things going on. So we could go to the eastern port, or we could go to Casil. The western port is Gyatso. It's probably the most open port. That's the only port where some of the more there's a few things there that are traded that aren't traded elsewhere, and then the southern part of the island has the gunboat port, and the gunboats are all bastards. So I don't know if I'd like to go there. And there's a few of those. The brothers, there's a lot of. They have so many brothers that they don't like me a whole lot. So it is probably the place where they smuggle the most, but it's not quite a port. It's sort of still within the island. So we'll find a way in. I mean, you don't have to go to a port. We're pirates.
I mean, I'll speak for myself. I still don't know exactly what a pirate is. I'll take your word for it, though. Sounds good. Do you think, what's his name? Park? Do you think he's still around? Sounds like he exiled himself. Sounds
It was a
like
long
someone.
time ago. But the tower was said to give people long life, and those with more stars had more strength. But Tower Castillo
Is
is
that why?
supposedly dead, but Ogre.
Was that why Yoon wanted to go to the tower Ogre saw? Was Yoon hoping to get real magic stars that are important?
No.
Get your gold stars?
I think I'm not sure if those towers are connected. I just wanted to go there because I guess I've always had an interest in. There's something about a sort of mysterious tower that's just appealing, and there's something about the tower in Chukan that I experienced, and it's childish. It's every not many people know the tower doesn't open for anyone, and so most kids still grow up thinking they'll go to the tower and it will open for them, and they'll have an adventure, and they'll come out and they'll be an Anbao, a protector of the city, and
Well, Yoon is already an Umbao, but not just the city, but the world.
That
Since
was
we've caught...
more of, well, I guess in a way.
And sorry if Ogre's mispronouncing the words, these are really hard words. And
No,
Ogre
it's-
only caught like a couple of that stuff, so if Ogre messes up, Ogre's sorry.
You can all call it the tower. It's fine. Or the Anbao is both the tower and the cult. So it's not. That's one thing Park did that I don't think was his best idea. But maybe he just wanted to associate the two. He might still be alive. I had a friend growing up who I haven't seen in a long time, but there are some people who know the truth and are actively trying to fight the Anbao. There's this sort of very small underground, and she believed Park was still alive. You know, waiting for the tower to reopen and give us purpose again.
Ogre has one more question.
You can ask as many questions as you like, Ogre.
Do you think your people will side with the Merlin loaf?
I don't think the Loboa like being told what to do. So, in that respect, if there's fight to be had, many of them will go to fight. But
They don't sound too bad.
we left one world to come to this one. We don't want this one to end. I could be fairly sure that most Loa would protect the islands. Even some of the Anbao are still just true believers and think that they're doing what's best. Though the problem is, again, without a sort of, the tower's selection, when you have power, it draws people who want power, and then you get people who abuse that power.
Speaking of power, how did you become patriarch again? What?
I'll tell you.
I feel like you're downplaying this a little bit. I mean, maybe I'm the.
A lot of it was Junbei's doing, an organization. I kind of showed up and I had some powers and the stars, and they really resembled the records of known Anbao, and so I challenged the current patriarch Junshan at Bagadain, which is the yearly festival I mentioned, and he threw the match. Like, he made it very. But I don't think I could have beat him. Just anyway, so I won, and that makes me. Normally, the patriarch battles are pretty contentious, and the Loa believe in strength. But at the same time, when I won, Junbei made it so that the show of the stars glowing, as I used what power I had at the time, was a big event, and he called attention to it, and then made the claim that I had been chosen by the tower, and he set a lot of things up, because essentially what counts, I mean, the Anbao obviously deny it, but everybody was there watching. If it's a battle for the patriarchy, everyone shows up. So it's about the beliefs of the people, and the belief that I was now both patriarch and third star Anbao made me dangerous. I could make decisions that the people would back, and the system, even though run by lies, might have to honor. The battle itself was not exciting. It was, it was just a.
I'd like to roll an insight check on Yoon's modesty and humility here.
Same.
Yeah.
It's not great.
It's only an 11.
Yeah, beat me. I think I got 9.
9.
Yoon, deception?
Yeah.
Nat 20.
Closes out of the park.
Give it like a 2.
It's a
and
very
probably
high
fine.
chance I beat like a 9 and 11, but
Yeah.
I just had to reload the screen, and then we'll see. It literally is a nat 20 for a 25.
Called it.
We're going to Vegas.
I think, Riaris, you kind of like the thought kind of crosses your mind, and then thinks, "This is a chance for someone who is, you know, as Riaris, as you put it to yourself, who is long-winded to be able to kind of show off a little bit. Why would they hold back?"
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think Ogre, you're starting to try to read his face, and then you realize, was it Anbow or Onbow? You already forgot.
Ogre's gonna have no problem not saying any of this once we get there.
Beautiful.
Ogre has another question. You said everyone could vote on the island, but you have a cult that is taking control of it, but also little kings that rule it. How does that work altogether?
It's very confusing, but when I said everyone could vote, I really just meant like the families, the heads of the families vote there during the yearly festival if there's something like the island needs to go to war, or I don't know, increase import tariffs or something. I didn't pay much attention to that growing up, and I also didn't pay much attention to that after Junbei helped me become patriarch. So I'm vaguely familiar with the rules, but the law books in the archives were fairly boring. So I read a lot of other stories and a lot of other. I liked the stories of the old Anbao and Park Beryast, and I mean, who doesn't? The draw of being chosen and then beating the challenges within, coming out and coming out changed is.
Yeah,
Guys,
can I ask something?
Yeah, of course.
Oh no, that was it. I just wanted to know if I could ask something.
Thank you. You are a dick.
So, if we get in, it sounds like you might have support from the people, not the
have
Onbao. Like
some-
there's.
It depends on what Junbei has done there. You know, he was trying to help arrange things so that, you know, when I came back, it would be safer, or that there would be. He does a lot of planning. He's kind of always ready for anything, but in general, I have no idea what to expect. He might have gained more support from the people, but I'll be straight with you, Dars. I really don't want to be a patriarch. It's not my favorite thing that's happened to me, and I got a little. He's a good friend, and you know, sometimes a good friend will give you a little pressure to do something, and then you say sure, and then you're the patriarch. So it's you know, a very relatable experience.
So you challenged the
What?
previous patriarch because
That's
Junbei said?
It's also his dad, so
Oh,
Wait, what?
you know, we don't really. It's his biological dad. It's, you know, it's we're all part of that family. But yeah, so it's not the same connection. The Loire, and there is an innate sort of it's a magical connection between the Loire that was made us stronger in war, and made us so the families just sort of make sense. That connection to all of us is stronger than the connection to who birthed you. But he still liked his dad, so you know it was
Would we be going to Faran when the festival's going on?
It depends when we get there. It's not. You know what? I have no idea what day it is. We've been
Well,
moving
we've been
around and
reliving the
going
same
back and
month
forth in
twice.
times. Yes, that I really. It's not something I usually pay that much attention to.
I'm glad someone else is asking. I have no idea what it is.
So maybe. It's a good time. There's lots of good food. They do roper tentacles. It's just really and you can get them kind of fried and crispy, and it's just delicious. Like the octopus.
So, when we go to Faran, what do we want to do there? The tower,
Let's-
obviously, but is the other our towers as well, and
I think I'd rather.
gain. Yeah.
I thought we were going to go check out. We have Kobamu. If he comes with us, then that's in the south. I believe is what he said.
Oh, do you know where you're gonna drop him off?
No, I suppose I was hoping he would give us some direction, and maybe we would get a lead from there.
Wouldn't he
You're
like
better off.
kill everybody he sees because your people took his people's land?
Yep.
That was
that's
like a
what I
long
thought.
time ago. You know, it's not the same people. It's
I
probably.
mean, we're talking about the same Kobamu, right?
But yeah. I mean, we'll
You
drop
seem
him off
very
with the
mad.
gunbolts.
I say just let him loose.
Of course you'll say that. You don't. Do you? You've never even met Kobamu.
No, I've heard stuff though.
Yeah. Well, he's been around a long time, and I don't know. He was kind of hopeless and broken, and it seemed like he believed in me for 1 second, and I wanted to honor that. Plus, I might want to get that card back. You know, it's hard to play without a full deck.
Why did you give him one of your cards?
I gave him the whole deck, and then Kay kind of, admittedly wisely, decided it was enough of a gesture to give him one of the cards, and he
I got
took it.
kidnapped by a Yoon that gave his whole deck to a Kobamu. And this is where I'm at.
Oh,
You know,
Zed, did you take your Yoon's card deck when he passed away? What happened to it?
I pretty much just grabbed a little memento of everybody.
Inside check.
Um,
I still don't know what he's talking about.
I want to
so
know.
I
Does he
can't help
have,
you there.
Other Yoon's deck, his
Oh, okay.
magical deck of cards.
Gotcha.
That's only a 12.
He probably has it.
I don't know. I just took things from each of them.
I really hope you don't have that on you. I feel like if that deck came in contact with another, I feel like that would be bad. So, if you have it, keep it far away from my deck.
You mean like this? he just pulls out of his pocket an empty hand.
Nice. Well done. Illusion.
All right, I think the bathroom's calling me.
Well, you did drink a lot of beer.
So,
Was-
is the deck you have, is that part of the stars that's linked to your stars, which are linked to the Onbo, but not really? They're just coincidentally similar? Is that
Like,
the general?
it is confusing. No, the deck, it's something else, and I got it from a casino in the south of Faran. That there's a
What's a casino?
it's a place where you gamble, you bet, you say if this happens, then you give them some money, and then you say, I think this certain improbable thing will happen, and then if the improbable thing happens, they give you a bunch more money than you gave them.
That sounds like a foolproof way to make
Oh.
more money.
Mm-hmm. That's
As
what many people think that.
as Yoon said, he was talking about his deck, and he says it's something. Just Zed says, "Yeah, it is," as he's just walking to find the bathroom.
I got nothing else. Yoon, I mean, thanks for telling all about that. I really appreciate it.
I as usual, I think I rambled a bit, but some of it is important to know.
It was nice learning about your home.
Thank you. It's I have a particular dislike for the Andao, even if I hadn't become the patriarch.
But some people consider you Onbao because of that, but you don't. God, the name.
It's just
Why? It's
right.
just.
Yeah. A lot of it is just public perception. A patriarch with stars is something that's like, imagine it as I don't know. They believe that I'm going to do something to help everybody or change things, or it's that it's like it's a savior thing, or when a leader comes into power and they have some sign from above, that sort of thing.
Man, and you're gonna bring back us. They are in for a surprise.
Well, yeah. That doesn't have to be the first place we go. You'd certainly go there's the tower there, and then, but if we want, there are resources there, and there are people there who will help us, but it's dangerous, and I don't know what to expect, and I don't want to be stuck there. So, if I come back, and how am I gonna save them?
Riaris, you hear the phrase, how am I going to save them? And I don't know, I think it might remind you of something that you haven't thought about in a little bit, just in the confusion of everything, of the reason why you're here.
No, I think you're absolutely right, and I think sit back a little bit in my chair and look and remember the picture of Red Ants building the temple and Talia's voice coming from it. Don't say anything. I'm not going to say anything out loud at the moment about it, but that kind of puts me into more of a quiet mood. Well, we have a couple days left here, right? Before the ship's ready. We'll head out.
As you guys go to head out, you see Ogre. You see a familiar figure just coming in. Lagoon. Hey, you could just trying to just make sure that I'm. That's not his voice. You could just trying to make sure that I'm. We're all set for tomorrow. Oh, Okra, right?
Lego.
Close enough. Hello. Good to see. Wow,
Hi.
you're out late. You're becoming quite the barfly, aren't you? I
Ogre could do that.
I don't. Looks at the rest of the groups. I don't eat. The barfly. I think like kind of catches you and goes. I think he gets it. It's not a food thing. It's a. Hello, everybody.
Oh, everyone, you guys
Hello?
maybe met. This is Lego. He was keeping Ogre
Lagoon.
company after RZ died, and keeping Ogre company and helping Ogre learn how to drink.
Did you get Ogre drunk?
No. I'm not in so many. Actually, in some ways, I think I've kind of. I was helped her learn how to pace herself, which seems like she's doing splendidly. I think I've kind of stepped in it, so I apologize. I'm going to just Hello, nice to meet you all.
Oh.
I wish you lots of luck.
Okay.
That isn't
Thank you.
ominous at all. You do realize that. That's very. Okay, well,
Wait, Lego.
bye.
Yes,
You
Lagoon.
said that-
Yeah, Ogre.
Lagoon, sorry.
It's okay.
Lagoon, you said because the old bar burnt down mysteriously. You're out of work. Well, Yuka here is really need some hands. Maybe she can hire you.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I'm actually just preparing for beach day. Looks at the faces for tomorrow morning. Oh, I'm sorry. You maybe. It's it's like a trade day. There's people that just come down to the beach and put up little tents and that are even smaller and more rickier than the ones they have closer inland. And just to go to sell some of their wares. Just kind of like a I don't know what you would call it in your wherever
A
you're.
flea market.
Yes, like a flea market.
What is
Why
a
would
flea
you buy
market?
a bunch of fleas.
What?
It's just what he described. It's a place where people come and they sell other stuff. You know.
Yes. But
Or like a
I'm-
farmer's market. Oh, okay, I get it. I
Like a
get you.
farmer's market.
like a farmer's Margaret.
Yeah. Wait, no, market. What is a Margaret?
I don't know who's
We
Margaret.
probably need one. No, that's a magro.
What's the matter?
A
Right. Well,
mackerel?
actually, so it's funny. So yes, Ogre. I appreciate, and I'm kind of one step ahead of you. I'm helping to sell some of Yuka's wares on the beach, giving her hopefully a little break, right, dear? You see Yuka kind of like in a spot of like now like every movement of lips is just a cracking sort of thing. So you see her like start to kind of like move and then just kind of stops and just kind of like shakes her head. You see the leaves kind of just push out. So,
You need to close this restaurant
Yeah, you could
for like
just.
at least a day or two. Also, she needs like a finance advisor. I'm pretty sure people have been leaving money here, and she has no idea what that is or why.
yes. Well, I've talked to her several times on what money is. We're working on it. Right, Yuka?
Oh. This kind of reminds Ogre of a story she heard about something of a giving tree.
Yes, she is a very.
She gives and gives, but doesn't get anything in return.
Well, I guess, one step at a time. Anyways, I will be down there in the morning, making sure that once you understand the concept here, we'll make sure that there's some gold that lines her proverbial pockets. Well, I best be off. I am. I guess I will. You might be better to just come early in the morning. It's totally fine. I don't. I always sleep with one eye open. So.
Ogre gets that one.
Cool. Great. Awesome. As this is happening, you see Lagoon kind of comes up, looks at some of the disarray sort of things. And I'll actually say, you know what? I'm going to, if you don't mind, are you done with that glass? And just kind of points, I think probably over towards you.
Yep. Yeah. I think we are about to leave, so sure.
Oh, okay, great. Well, then I'll wait. I was just going to clean up a little bit.
Done with it. Oh,
okay,
wow.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then just the tongue kind of flicks out and grabs it, brings it in. Thank you. And kind of collects a couple other things. And if it's a long enough reach, he'll use his tongue to kind of pull that in.
Credit where credit is due. Pretty cool.
Thank you. All right. I will bring these down to the ocean to wash. Sorry, Ogre? Oh, it looks like one of your little friends is, I wouldn't say it looked like they're purposely trying to make sure that no one's looking. As you see, Zed is starting to inch his way out from the group.
Grab.
Where you going, buddy?
Looking for the bathroom. It's kind of hard to find one in a place made up by a tree. Don't want to pee on roots.
I mean, you had no issue throwing water on the floor, so I mean, is peeing on roots that
Do
different?
you drink pee, Kaelinor? Because I'm pretty sure plants drink water, not pee.
I would appreciate it. Well, I think we both would
Much
appreciate it.
ammonia.
You would appreciate it if they didn't urinate in your restaurant, right?
I think I'm starting to feel like it's not really so much a restaurant as she just makes food inside her and she happens to be here.
Something was
there's
built.
a bar, I
yeah.
guess, but definitely, I doubt there is a bathroom, a place to which is fine. I mean, there might be codes or something, but she needs another actual place that is a restaurant that someone can, so that everybody doesn't come here, and also it has a bathroom, I suppose, and
It wouldn't be a bad idea to actually make some sort of outhouse-like thing close by. Yeah, I'll. We'll talk about it. Talk about it tomorrow, I guess. Or the next couple of days. Yes, great. Sorry, little friend. I didn't mean to.
So, you know the place. Where can I go use the bathroom? 'Cause I'm about to go to the ocean.
just go.
The oceans are pretty close
Fish
there.
in there. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
I bet the Booty Bay has a bathroom.
Maybe. Yep, you could do
Or
that.
she could
Most other
make the
shops are going to be
bathroom.
closed as it is pretty late.
So he'll figure it out.
Oh, Zed, Ogre wanted to try something. Please don't be mad if this actually does anything. Ogre just wants to see.
The moment when you say, I have to go to the bathroom, and someone says, well, hold on. No, I got to just try something.
Mhm.
Stay right here.
Mm.
Wait 2 seconds.
Ogre goes through a bag and she She's gonna get that little tiny piece of coral that was also part of Zed's arm and just like try to put it on the new Zed.
Now?
Ogress Zed? No.
Now. The best DM
Ogress
reaction.
had this thing in her
Right
mouth
now?
You care if you
the
want.
whole time.
Can I try to evade this?
You can
Yeah,
certainly
absolutely.
Okay, what am I rolling to evade this?
So Ogre, to clarify, Ogre, you were taking out a piece of coral. You're taking Carol, the coral, out, and you're going to say, "Oh, hey, hold on a second," and then you're going to just stab it into his arm.
No, I'm not gonna stab it. It's more like a poke. Like, poke him with it. Not like a full. It's
I
like a
don't
little-
think Ogre ever pokes. I think it's
Yeah,
always
right?
Yeah,
An ogre poke is still a stab. Like,
I think an ogre. I think that's absolutely right. I think an ogre poke is still a stab. Yeah, Zed. I'll say, give me. Okay. All right. Cool. We'll do this. Ogre, give me an unarmed strike.
Okay. That's a 6.
Okay, cool. Zed, give me a dexterity saving throw, DC 6.
Oh yeah, that's 25.
Yeah, easily move out of the way from being stabbed.
Ogre, what is that?
It's a piece of the coral from Zed's arm. Ogress had it in her back the whole time.
The whole time?
What are you trying? You trying to stick that in Zed?
Ogre. The next time you try to stab me with Coral Ogre, you're gonna be the bathroom.
It's just our Zed had that embedded in him, and
The
it
good-
was
the
something
good
that
jump
was
in.
cool. It was cool. So
Seems-
like, should at least
Seems
ask.
oddly specific.
I'm gonna-
Next time you stab me with coral, I'm gonna be on you.
It wasn't supposed to be a stab. It's supposed to be.
I'm
a
sorry,
little poke.
Lego. How many times have you been stabbed by Coral?
0, I guess.
Yeah. So you can't think of anything right off the bat when you try to
There's
stab
probably.
with Coral.
I mean, there's probably a time when I was younger.
Fascinating. We'll see
Zed,
you at the
if
beach.
You want this
Uh,
back?
Yeah.
Ogre has it.
You got it.
Okay, it's fine. I'm curious why you want him to. Are you trying to get him to be more like old Zed, or
I'm
you
not
just
sure.
think-
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's not it. It's just Ogress had this in her backpack this whole time, and she was supposed to give it to old Zed for his other arm, but he's not here anymore, so it's this Zed's now. Ogre should have just handed it to him instead of
So
trying
this-
to poke him with it.
This wasn't coral from his arm.
When he got attacked by that thing, there was shards of it everywhere, so Ogre just picked up a shard.
When he got attacked by that thing that ended up
Yeah, just like
at the same time that he got his arm.
Yeah, because
No.
I asked, could I pick up a piece of this coral shit that's all over the ground, and I've had it in my inventory this whole time.
Right.
So that was before he put it onto my, like, attached it onto my shoulder, I think.
So it could be the same coral.
It is.
You just told me it wasn't.
I said it was.
Okay.
Well, it's not from when it was already attached from my shoulder. It
Yeah,
was
I didn't
from when
yank
it was
it off
broken.
your arm.
Gotcha. So my question was, is it coral from his arm? And you were saying, no, I didn't take it off his arm. Got it. Understood.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Still could be coral of the same coral that his arm was
Yes.
of. Yes. Got
Yeah.
it. Cool. Yeah. Great. Yeah. I mean, a full whiff doesn't, touch anything. Yeah. I don't know what to do with that from there. Ogre, do you?
I'm just gonna
Do you
drop
just?
it back. Oh well.
Okay.
In the backpack.
You
I
got it.
mean, you could have done that when he was asleep. That might have been an easier target, but you know.
Very welcoming, y'all. Everybody's doing a great job.
Same.
What?
Why don't we see if it
Well.
attaches to Kaelinor? Yeah,
It
go ahead.
was-
Give her a
it
nice
did turn
stab.
him into a
Not a
cool,
seal.
like coral golem, and he really just
Yeah.
punched the shit out of these other monster golems, and it was pretty cool. It was like a power thing.
Like a whole suit made of
Ogre
coral.
just thought it rightfully belonged to you now, since you're here.
How about in case of emergency, I'll ask for it.
Okay, sorry. Ogre should have asked.
That's fine. It's,
What a party to be kidnapped by.
we're alive.
Well, yeah, for now, until this Kaelinor betrays you. She could be playing a long con.
Kaylin, you think, how long is he gonna stand there before he has to go to the bathroom?
Kay's like, Yes, Sid, that's what I'm doing. I'm playing the long con. Did you not need to go pee?
Oh, I destroyed water when I was going, so.
I'm gonna say it that I am gonna like I love it. I love the idea of like being able to like use that as a part of it. I dig it. It's great. I am gonna say I would like everybody here to give me an insight check on that. I'll say it's a high DC.
17?
9.
17 was the DC.
6.
Okay, cool. Ogre, you recognize like, okay, so he could do that the whole time. Then why was he trying to leave to go to the bathroom?
Zed's trying to escape, leave us, however you want to put it.
Ogre just jumps on him and escapes.
I figured he was just
He's
trying
trying
to
to
go, like,
escape.
talk to Carvis about something, or like where's he gonna go? Like into the
It's a big
swamp.
island.
Yeah, but
Back
most
into
of
the
it is
ocean.
pretty dangerous.
I mean, I could have just gone into the giant ocean right there.
Yeah, and
That's
died
also
again.
not dangerous at all. Ocean, known for being safe.
Well, I am a sea elf, and that is technically my home.
No sea elf has ever died in their home.
Yeah, I really wish Carl
And-
was there for this.
Who's also not being hunted by the sea witch. Yeah, just go back to the place
Right.
where she killed you.
That's how our
Exactly.
Zed
Maybe he
died.
has a different signature. And it's
Well,
like,
so
won't be
far
able
you
to
guys
detect him
said
yet.
you haven't found anything that she is attacking. Where mine is just covered with walkers.
It's like, where you have 3 years or something ahead. Lots of stuff happens. It's
Plus, why would she be looking for me? She already got a Zed.
well, she might not be looking for you specifically. She was looking for Zed.
And she got him.
Maybe she
So
wants a
technically-
2-for-1 deal.
Why
That's
would
a
she
free
want?
vacation.
Okay, that's rude, but why would she want you?
I don't know. Who doesn't want me?
Jeez.
I mean, you all did. Isn't that right, Kaelinor?
I would say we settled more. Is
Yeah,
Oh, no, you
Car's
had-
there, but I would give a side eye to Car to be
I'm not
like,
sure we have
not
settled
sure
yet.
we got the right
I
one.
think you're still kind of auditioning.
I don't know. You
Trial
guys,
phase.
you've seen one with a kid. You've seen one controlling an army, and you
I like the
chose
one
me.
with the katana and the army. That sounded like cool, Zed.
Ogre would mostly go with the rebound.
And yet, you guys still have me here.
I mean, I like the sass. That's totally fine. And it looked like you had a cool looking dagger or something. I don't know what that's about, but
No. No touchy.
I'm not trying to touch it. Just said it looked cool. I don't use daggers.
I know,
Why
you
would
just
you
cast spells left
too
and
short?
right.
It's very tiring. But I recovered.
Yoon,
Hi.
you're kind of doing this in passing, but I would like an Arcana check actually.
Okay. I'm gonna use my inspiration because why not? Ha! 12.
Okay, cool. I think with a 12, there's a moment when it is relatively dark out, but there is there are some like kind of like torches that are kind of nearby that are reflecting some light. You notice that like it looks like there's a gleam on the knife, and you're not entirely sure if that happened in response to addressing it, or if it just caught the light in the right way.
Right. And in general, I mean, you knows a fair amount about the hexes and curses and good and bad luck and stuff like that, and so there's like, some sense.
You get the idea. I would say like with that arcana, you definitely get the idea like there's some residual magic on this. So there's definitely not like it's kind of one of those things where I think Yoon looks at it like it cannot not be magical. Look at it. It's like
right. Yeah.
What an eyesore if it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Cool knife. I guess we'll, go to bed.
All right. Zed, you going to bed?
Yeah.
All right, you got it. Cool. So you guys head back to the ship. As you do, I'd say give me a perception check. Honestly, actually, hold on. Everybody go ahead and give me your perception checks. I'll tell you whether you did it. Whether you beat the game.
15.
2.
10.
No, it would be comma.
Disadvantage. Oh man.
5.
From a 22 to a natural 1.
Get some sleep, Riaris.
I'm so tired. I've hit that wall of just like all these conversations. I'm like, I can't even follow along. Just, where's the bed?
Raise your hand if you got above 15.
Got right at 15.
Okay, cool. Zed, so as you are walking back, you notice that there is on top of the booty bay, there seems to be what looks to be like it's like the steeple kind of like seems a little bit taller, or the like sort of like the center of this like this cabin seems a little bit taller until you notice like just in like a slight wind, like a piece of like feather just kind of moves where it looks like it's just Carr has like buried himself fully into his like jacket, and it's just roosting there, assumedly sleeping.
I'm not gonna say anything to the group. I'm gonna keep it in mind.
You got it. Cool. And you guys start to head back to the ship. Zed. It's been close to 3 years since you've seen your ship. And more importantly, it's you don't remember it looking looking this good. What is Zed thinking as he approaches his ship?
Man. I wish this was the ship that we were gonna get on. This is pretty nice, like my ship.
Now, just pointedly, the question is, what is Zed thinking?
Oh, that's
So,
what he's
is that
thinking.
what
He
Zed-
thinks
Okay.
it's a nice ship, but he doesn't think it's the ship he's getting on. Because he thinks that if they had a Zed, they probably had a ship that's just like his. So he's not expecting... Because this is the new ship, right?
No. You guys
No,
don't have
this
the
is
new
the
ship
old
yet.
ship. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The whole reason why I was giving you the kind of like rundown of like the feeling of like that weird sort of sense of comfort because you haven't seen your ship in so long.
Gotcha. So, it's probably going to be a little happiness and joy going on, seeing that the ship survived, that he hasn't been on in forever, bringing back some old memories.
So I think as you guys start to board it, I think for the most part, Unless you guys wanted to roll like a high insight check or something. But for the most part, you guys are just trying to like go to your bunk and go to sleep. But Zed, where do you go?
I'm gonna check if it is like my ship, and it was built by Zed. He's gonna check the 2 secret compartments, one in the kitchen and one in the front.
Where do you go first?
On the kitchen.
Okay. Got it. Anybody keeping an eye? Do you guys think that you guys are kind of like connecting or following with this, or do you think you guys are really just like? I would argue Riaris is probably in that space of exhaustion.
Yeah.
But that's
I
up to
think,
you.
yeah. Kay's keeping like a wary eye on Zed, just in case he does come out and kill her in, the middle of the night. But it's like tired as well. It's been a long day.
Okay, so we'll say like once you get to like that kind of like weird sort of like very skinny sort of hallway, you see Zed is moving towards the kitchen as you're moving towards your bunk area. Do you follow?
No. Because in Kay's brain, Kay's like, he's safe, but I don't know where else he'd go from there. If he wants to do something now, silly, that's fine. I am sleeping.
Beautiful. Zed, you go to the kitchen, and what are you looking for in the compartment?
Alcohol.
Okay, you got it. Roll me. Okay. This is a silly thing to ask, but I'll tell you why in a second. Roll me a luck check, DC 2. So just don't get a net one.
I love that I have to see this in D&D
17.
Beyond.
Mm-hmm. Cool. You pull out a bottle and you notice that there is something wrapped around the cork. I'll say actually for simplicity's sake, actually it's like it's actually like stuck around the cork, making the bottle very difficult to open. Do you go to open it?
Yeah.
You pull hard. Give me an athletics check.
Uh, 22.
22. Thunk. You're looking through the bottle, and I think like first like sort of like thought as you recognized that there was something that was wrapped around here that may have possibly released some toxins into the bottle, and immediately kind of like just pouring out a little bit of it and just expecting there's a possibility that it might burn into the deck or something. You notice it's a small scrawled note. You unravel it and you read, I know it feels confusing. But if you let them, they'll be the best family you've ever had. That's it. There's no from. You don't recognize the handwriting.
Is it in a different language, or is it just in common?
It's in common.
Just gonna hold on to that note, just pocket it.
Got it. So, as you guys do your evening rituals to prepare for bed, there's a weird moment of thinking, we've gone, I think, for all of you, and I think it's a moment that kind of cuts across to all of you. Most of you kind of like almost bumping into each other because of the difficulty of getting into a space, and but the camera's kind of looking at each face. Yoon, Riaris, Kaelinor, Ogra, and Zed. I think for some of you, I'd like you to kind of describe it. There is I imagine it broken down into three emotional states of mind. First, just maybe a light smile of completion. Hey, things didn't work out exactly like we thought, but we're going to sleep knowing there's a new captain that is more or less your old captain. There's a sense of disappointment, dread, looking at the idea of doing something that is so miraculous. Something so miraculous, it has to work exactly like we want it to, right? So why this feeling? And then I think there's just the space of just deep set emotional exhaustion. Allowing your brain start to drift from one way to the other, but really it not even really getting there. Just maybe hovering in a space of an open cloud of whatever emotions my heart wants me to feel. They'll be here in the morning. So yeah, this could be quick. This could not. You. What's going through your mind?
I think, yeah. He's probably kind of going through his deck and shuffling it, drawing the top card, going through and drawing the top card in this sort of, rote way. And I think what's going through his mind, Yoon is thinking about, and it's a weird thought because it comes from a deep space, but it's kind of the feeling of how much are you willing to give, or like the feeling that when you're around certain people and you have to keep a part of yourself reserved, and there's that little bit of self, that energy that makes you a little bit more tired, that there's always this part, and there's a part of him inside that is considering dropping that, letting that part that is held in reserve just a little bit further go. And I don't know, I think it's he's, for the first time in a while, kind of anxious.
Camera kind of moves from your cot. Cuts over to Riaris.
I think Riaris is, his eyes are open, staring just straight up through the canopy above, if there is, kind of where we are in the inlet, and he is tired beyond just the physical tired, the mental strain of it all. And all of the purposes and paths that we came to get to this point, and we had to then redirect and find here. And he doesn't want to close his eyes. He doesn't want to see what is behind him. And I think he's worried for one of the first times, not just the faces of his friends being dead, but that face of that happy Zed. And not that this Zed that they found was that one, but those questions of even if this is a path forward, is it still the right path to take? And isn't really sure where to go from there. He's frustrated a bit at himself for not being more there for Zed and helping him figure it out, just hoping it would be all fine. I think, through this past day, he's realizing that, there's a toll that all of it takes, and he's wondering where that toll ends. I think it's probably about where he's at, just kind of staring up at the sky.
Camera zooms up and over the night sky, moving down to Ogra.
I think Ogra is just laying on her back, and she's like trying to sleep, thinking, okay, we did it, but the more she's like away from everybody and everything just starts piling up. Like, our Zed's dead, we got a new one. It just seems like we are always going to, like, 1 space forward, 3 spaces back. And Ogre doesn't see how we're meant to save the world, like Sylvia keeps saying. And how it doesn't feel like we're the right people. And it's just a lot to think about.
As we see the gentle rocking, kind of moving just a small sort of wrapped around rope that is just kind of loosely sort of falling back and forth as the ship is rocking. We zoom in and through it to Kalimar.
I think Kay, for the first time, has realized a little through her barbed conversations with Zed that her morality is slightly more skewered, and that they're very much willing to do what it takes to get through. I think she finds sleep quite quickly. And sure, there are doubts of how are we meant to do this, like she told Riaris, you can only go one step at a time and can only look forward at the moment. So whether this new Zed falls in line or not, we still have a mission and a job to complete. So I think there's very much that soldier mindset that she hated when she was before she was part of the Merlin Loken, abhorred everything they stood for. She's kind of becoming a model soldier a little bit. So I think this is the first time she's kind of noticed that, but she's willing to do it.
As you let your eyes sort of start to drift off, and you look over at the weapon that probably has never left your side. The double-bladed scimitar with that sort of small buckler shield in the middle of it. Still bearing the insignia of the Merlin Monk. We zoom into it and through it. Finally resting on Zed. Where do we see you, Zed?
Since he didn't find anything in the kitchen, he's probably downstairs in the bow, just going through the secret compartment, thinking to himself.
You found the alcohol in the kitchen?
In the kitchen? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then
There was just something in the bottle.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So yeah, he's probably sitting at the table drinking, and he's thinking that the jobs that he had coming in, he's not gonna have any more. Doesn't know how to get back, and he's feeling a little sad and upset that he was only able to leave such a short note to Eshin, the only one that's been talking to him for all that time. He's probably a little sad that he's not going to see his version of her, or if he ever will. And then if Carvis is going to be able to figure out what to do.
I think we see Zed staring at what is now probably has a little bit of a farmer's tan sort of mark on the wrist. That watch being gone. Zed, you notice that the note, most likely absent-mindedly from you, is sitting on the table, probably where you threw it. What do you do with it?
Probably pick it back up, read it again, look over it, see if there's anything different about it for it being sitting in a bottle of alcohol for so long and I'm still able to read it. It's kind of weird.
So it was, for clarification, it was wrapped around the cork, which was
around.
was
Okay.
stuck in the bottle. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Just checking it out.
Okay. Where do you put it?
After reading it, probably just throws it in one of the pockets in his armor.
You see Zed take another swig of this mystery alcohol. See the head just start to drip, or start to droop lower and lower. And you guys take your long rest. And it's been a long time coming. But you all level up. And with that, we'll take our 10-minute break. See you guys in 10. And we are back. In a awful and unprecedented sort of thing that I would never, ever, ever do in any other time frame. Oh, that's not the sound I want. That's the sound I want. I am going to railroad you all into you all waking up at about the same time. First off, you all travel timelines. You're full exhausted, bro. So as you all are waking up, this might backfire on me, but we'll try. Maybe. Nope, I don't even have it, so that's fine. Oh, shit, though. Okay, cool. It's alright, just imagine your minds. That's the whole point of this game. You hear there is, you are all waking up to the sound of yelling. As you hear the sounds of like hard splashes in the water. There are people who there are sounds of heavy sort of dragging sounds, and you hear this like that reminds you of arrows as you all wake up and are like quickly kind of like, you know, taking your moments to sort of like gather your weapons or gather your things and what have you. And as you are all doing so, I'm going to actually, I know we just did this, but we're going to go around again. And at this point, I'm going to say what it looks like in you, like getting up to like go and grab your things and all that stuff. And as you're doing that, something that we should be doing more often on here, and I apologize for the times that we've forgotten, is to tell me or tell us what level you have taken. So we're going to do that. We're going to start backwards. We're going to start with Kaelinor.
Oh damn. I took another level in Paladin, and I think Kay was, if in a hammock, was sleeping definitely much with her scimitar resting on her front, very much coffin style. So hearing those arrows immediately was like grab shield, jump out, and is like, what is going on? And heading straight to top deck. Is very much
Beautiful.
Flight or fight. Let's go.
You got it. Are you looking for anyone specifically to like try to like wake up, or you think you're just like running first to the deck?
Running first to the deck. I think if anyone's
it.
awake at the same time, I clock eyes, but if I'm not paying attention, I am just
Beautiful.
zoom in.
You got it. Ogre, I assume you're kind of asleep on top of the deck. So yeah, go ahead and well, you're up. Go ahead.
I think with the Ogre just goes, ah! Thinking we're under attack, and immediately just starts scrambling to get her things, and I can just imagine the shield starts rolling as the boat is doing this.
No.
She's just trying to go and trying to get her shield.
Beautiful. Running after your shield as Kaelinor kind of like rushes to the deck. And go ahead and tell me what level you've taken.
I've taken another level in Druid
Very nice.
for cool magic shit.
Nice. Zed, as you wake up right where you left yourself, in the kitchen.
Yeah. So, he probably hears that noise and grips the bottle, splashing some of it in his face, burning his eyes, because alcohol in the eyes.
Yeah, I like it.
And he goes to jump up to his feet, and I took a level in I'm having such a brain fart. Rogue.
Very nice. Cool. Very nice. 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 Beautiful. So yeah. So now you're in 2 levels of danger as there's the burning liquid in your eyes, immediately kind of like trying to kind of rub them out as Kaelinor is kind of like just rushing by. Beautiful. Riaris.
Yeah, I think Riaris also would have slept above side, near whatever by Ogre. I think Riaris actually got a very good night of sleep, and during his period of sleep, he's a lot of his. He hasn't had much control over what he's been able to see or gather, and during the sleep, some of that anxiety rolled into being able to have some level of control of where he's flashing back, so it's not just this hectic helter-skelter thing, which leads me to take another level in cleric, as he's kind of starting to understand the path a little bit more, to the point of being able to know how to hold on to certain strings or let go and just navigate those pathways a little bit more. And so he wakes up feeling very good, with a nice little smack of his lips and a little bit of a stretch as he hears the sounds and doesn't have a worry. Something about it, he's feeling pretty good as he wakes up. So there's people rushing about and he's taking his time.
Oh, the time cleric taking his time. That's beautiful. Very nice. Dan, take a point of inspiration for that. I love that so much. Great.
I can just see Ogre's shield moving right behind him, and it almost looks like a clock.
Like moving up
it's
just in time as it rolls behind me, just like, yep, there it is.
Yes. Beautiful. And you.
Yeah, so I mean, Yoon hears the sound, and I think he's sleeping in the captain's quarters. I believe he might have waited up a little bit to see if this Zed came to the captain's quarters. You would have given it to him, but he didn't show up, so he's sleeping in there. And when he hears the sound, he just sort of like rolls over and like puts the pillow over his head and just goes, no. Woke up early. All right, new Yoon, here we go. And he rolls out of bed, kind of falls out of the bed through a door in the ground, as he has unintentionally cast Dimension Door. I took the 7th level of Warlock,
Nice.
which then takes him up, like the door opens like vertically, and he just falls straight out onto the deck, like from 6 feet up. He just falls like, straight down, looks up, and goes, "That's new." And that's it. Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. That is in the sacrifice of that dimension door. Please take a point of inspiration for that as well. 'Cause
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that very much. I think it's very funny.
One of 2 spell slots.
Beautiful. Yeah, I also, as a DM, I kind of like really love that there's some of you that have just responded to my danger to, oh, God. All right. Just what else is new? Beautiful. Well, Kaelinor, just having the right response to the concept of something is being attacked, Kaelinor, you rush over, being first to ready to defend yourself. If there was an initiative order, you are at the 20s. As you rush over to the top of the deck, and you see there is a what looks to be a large, what looks to be possibly like I think what Kaelinor pictures at first is a cannonball, but it is somewhat enlarged and bigger. And you see it is balancing in the water between two small, obviously children, humanoid boys that are. I think at first I'll say this, Kaelinor, roll me an insight check.
It's a beautiful 4.
Yeah, I like it. As you see, as you hear shouts and and screams of what looks to be probably just a floating bomb next to 2 children. And if this is the point where everybody goes to like, okay, cool, I'm turning this off here. That's not what's happening. Don't worry. It's not what's happening. I wouldn't do that.
3 children.
It's 3 children. And the
You
bomb
haven't
is
seen one's drowned already.
I think Kay, immediately with previous night thoughts of being, listen, we got to be ready for war, like kind of energy. It's very much like sees that those children are gonna get themselves killed. Forgot like about her own past of like, I used to do dumb shit as a kid. This is fine. Immediately will cast like expeditious retreat to book it and grab those kids and drag them to the shoreline.
Does she say anything?
No, I don't think
Do you say
where is
anything
everyone?
loud, like children in danger or something?
I know, I think it's flight or fight moment of like, what the fuck? Is that bomb gonna go off any minute?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gone.
At this point, am I on the deck? Like, am
I don't
I make it up
Are
in
you?
town? I want to say, after I heard somebody run by and I hear noise like that, I want to run up to the deck.
Okay. You got it. Well, let me finish what Kaelinor doing right here. But we'll say, so as you're doing that, Zed, you're running up. Kaelinor, you already hear a splash as Kaelinor has launched herself off, fully expecting herself to like drop straight down to the bottom of the ocean. That is only probably about waist deep right now. Maybe a little bit. You got a ship in there, so. But then you realize you're naturally floating, and you're like, oh, that's right, armor.
Yeah. I'm not okay. Paddle over.
You're just swimming your hardest. You hear the kids just continuously starting to like just yell out something, but you're not. You're full just in that sort of space of your head is moving side to side, and you just grab them, throw them on your back. They're still screaming as you're just moving and running and rushing and just doing the full James Bond coming out of the water, but now with 2 kids. And rushing onto the beach. Zed, what are you doing?
I see that, and I'm probably just a loss at words that I just seen Kaelinor steal 2 children out of the ocean.
I want to say Ogre just runs right beside you and just manages to catch your shield right as it's going off the boat.
Beautiful.
Like full like homeroom slides to catch it.
Great, I love it. Which gives you like kind of like you're on the ground, you're prone, but you're watching this scene as Zed. Give me an insight check.
21.
21. Cool, awesome. Yeah, it's a giant coconut. Now it's a giant coconut, but it's a coconut. And the sounds of what were probably like jovial, sort of celebrative, sort of playing some sort of game, and now are screaming words like "Mom, help me!" The stranger. Are echoing in the air.
Do the kids seem like they're in danger? Like
The kids are screaming, "Mom, help me, stranger."
I'm just trying to figure out if I think that Kaelinor, for some reason, is trying to steal kids, or if I see, yeah, she mistook the situation.
That's up to you, my friend.
Let's see here. He knows what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just gonna whisper to himself, "Fucking idiot."
Okay. Beautiful. Ogre, you are on the ground looking at this. Ogre, give me an insight check.
15.
15. Beautiful. And I'll say also to kind of give a little bit more of a thing of this scene, go ahead and give me a perception check.
18.
18. Beautiful. You notice behind them, not too far off, in the far distance, you see that there are what looks to be tents and poles that are being set up along the beach to represent what you now remember you heard last night as Beach Day. You see truly probably at this point, they're just kind of like getting set up right now, but I'd say you see about maybe 20 to 30 people, like kind of like blips in the distance.
Is this like what Yoon said what festivals are like? Looking at Zed above.
Yeah, I mean, right on cue, you're not too far off if you want to respond as you kind of like come up to the deck and are looking out over.
He's still laying there. And he just goes, situation report?
There's a bunch of tents everywhere.
Eleanor's being a
intense.
dumbass and kidnapped 2 children.
Okay, I know that's not true. Sounds like
Eleanor,
we're not
stop
in
playing
any
with the
danger
little
of freaking-
kids.
Oh, she's got 2 children on her shoulders, and they're screaming for their mommy. And
Well,
she's
that-
running with them.
You now see there is a we'll say human. Let's keep it simple. You see a human mother kind of looking roughly similar to the children is now coming running over in the distance. Ed.
Well, that sounds like a diplomatic situation. I think that's what is that? Riaris's your diplomatic relations?
No. Let's
car?
see where this goes.
Well, she doesn't seem in immediate danger.
And you dimension door back into your bed.
There's a very close.
Yeah.
Real.
I go to hand him the alcohol.
Oh, don't mind if I do. Oh,
I will. Yeah, I
Zed's-
mean, I oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's like a home brew.
Yeah, it's
Not bad.
It's something.
Riaris.
Yeah, I'll at this point go over the edge and kind of, as Zed's looking over there, kind of clap him on the back of the shoulder, be like, Kalenor's got breakfast, I see. Excellent. Kalenor, you all right down there?
Just turn. All good. I'm running to this mother, being like, "Oh my gosh! Don't leave them unattended.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Why would you leave your children unattended?
What are you
Who does that?
What are you doing? You see, they're both crying on her, like basically like coming up to her waist. The children, what they're playing? What is the deal?
In water where there are potential threats that no one knows and can see. I'm just saying. I'm not questioning your parenting skills, but
I could see that. I could see. And could you please point that weapon away from me? Oh, you're the. Okay. Wow.
yeah. Hence the
Wow.
overprotective nature of threats. You never
Wow.
know. My bad.
Yeah, they're playing.
Also, yeah, but in the water with a, and then clocks the coconut. Like, why would you not play on sand? It's if you've not heard of. There's another game you can play with that. Why in the?
Are you
I know-
trying to tell my children how to play their game? It's a stupid game for stupid children. You're not stupid children. I'm so sorry. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. And just starts to kind of like walk away with him.
You're welcome. And it's like, there's a sort of like, your mom called you stupid. Damn.
Kaelnor sees no fault of herself in this. It's a full.
No.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Riaris. I mean, my Eleanor didn't say anything about hating kids. Damn.
Well, kids do suck.
Are you at least on an elbow now?
It's like leaning
He's
up.
probably like
Close it up.
holding the bottle, like kids do stuff.
Beautiful. So we'll say, so Kaelnor, I don't know if you make it back to the ship or not, but you all see in
I
various,
see them. Like,
yeah, In various ways, you see that it looks like they are setting up for beach day. So
Well, I'm
we're
gonna go
all
get
clear,
dressed.
guys. Why did you guys think that something crazy was happening? That's unbelievable. Yeah, you go get dressed. As you were I mean, you'd probably sleep in. Yeah, yep, cool. Yep. Just now, the fact of him laying on the deck becomes abundantly clear. As the full cheeking it.
I see you suntanning you. You gotta get that bright moon, right?
He's not responding. I'm gonna go get dressed.
Beautiful. Yeah, what do you guys want to do?
Is
Yeah.
everybody like busy looking at something?
I can't answer that question.
I'm going down to meet Kaelinor and Ogre down. And,
You got it.
and be ready. Stomach rumbling.
Yoon will do that after he goes and gets
Get
dressed.
stressed.
Cool.
I'm air drying on the beach, just waiting for everyone to come down. Because I'm not going back up to come down again. That's
Yeah, that's
case like
fair.
why would I do that? Let's
Yep.
wait.
I think you're
Ogre's
just
just
staring at the
running down.
coconut.
Yeah, just like
Ogre runs down. Beautiful.
It's a giant coconut.
It's a giant coconut.
Zed
Um,
trying
Ogre's
That's a
going for that
hazard.
coconut. Ogre's going for that coconut.
Beautiful. Awesome. I rolled for the
Roll.
coconut. The coconut kind of just rolls right up on the beach, right as Kaelinor is. You're just kind of like sitting there watching. Ogre comes running up to it.
just watching
Ogre just,
Ogre's
like,
next move.
Ogre cops dips and tries to just shove it into her bag.
It,
Not
dude,
bad.
it's this big.
It's
Oh, I thought it was like.
It's not gonna-
Nah,
This big.
there you go.
It's unnaturally large.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Ogre does that, right? I mean, like, just kind of like takes a
Yeah,
bag
Ogre's
and is
taking
starting to try to roll.
Yeah, just roll it back up the ramp and put it. Yeah.
We don't need a. That's not gonna be our. Okay.
They left it, so it's not theirs anymore. It's ours.
Surprisingly light Ogre
Okay.
as you're rolling it.
I think you're stretching the meaning of that. I think you're aware of what's going on right now.
Ogre, I can't hear you.
Beautiful. So, so the first thing you guys do is you scare a bunch of children and take their toy. What else?
I'm
No, I
trying to
guess
sneak off.
Try to
The
sneak
hero's
off.
is
Yeah.
away.
He's gonna try to as much as he can.
In the bright daylight?
He's gonna jump off the edge of the ship into the water and try to swim away.
Okay, cool. You guys all hear a splash of water where Zed was.
If I go get him, I
was
will
that
kill
who
him.
I think?
Yeah.
it's-
I'm actually. I might flip a coin on that.
Fair.
Ogre will go get him. And Ogre's just gonna like dive off
Well,
the ship and
Oh,
wild away.
Ogre, before you.
Now,
She's gone.
VR,
She's gone.
the large coconut just bumps into your shoulder. It's
Yeah.
Ogre's already just.
What the fuck? What supposed to do with this?
I mean, Zed's a strong swimmer.
You could eat it, I suppose. Yeah, but she's turning into like a sea creature. So,
Shark. Oh my stuff.
Ogre, Ogre, what are you turning to?
I gotta see what I can turn into. There you are. What is your swimming speed? Yeah. I will turn into a reef shark.
Beautiful. Give me a perception
Just see
check
pink
as a reef
just
shark.
moving around with... Huh?
Give me that perception check as a reef shark.
Okay.
Oh no, forget it. You have blind sight 30 feet. Yeah, you absolutely know. You absolutely know where Zed is.
You just see a pink shark with green stripes coming around you.
Beautiful. Technically speaking, you cannot catch up to Zed if Zed's doing using ebb and flow. I believe that's what
for
doubles your
a
speed.
few minutes.
Yeah. Well, we're not that far from the so like truly it's one of those things where it's like Zed, if you really want to, like, it's not sneaking away, it's running away.
All right. Yeah, he's gonna use it.
You got it. Cool.
Can
Alright,
you just like turn around and Ogre's just giving you like this defeated puppy dog shark eyes?
He just head pops out of the water, little pink tuft.
And just like shrugs.
They're
Like
puppy
giving
dog
you
eyes, but they're like this far apart.
Oh my god. I'm just imagining, what is it? It's the knockoff of Scooby-Doo where they had the shark instead of the dog.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Big
It
sharks.
played the drums.
Yeah.
All right, I got a whole day for you guys planned. What do you like?
Man.
What's
Could he
What do you got?
understand me now that
Zed?
I'm
Where are you
aged?
heading? We'll put it this way.
I'm trying to find like a, I guess a spot where I feel that I'm safe, far enough away from them,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try to head my way to Carvis's.
So you're trying to head your way to Carvis. Got it.
Yep.
Ogre, what are you doing?
If he's not like swimming completely out to sea, I just see him do like a U-turn and go back onto the beach. Ogre's just gonna swim back to the ship, pop out, and give like a shark shrug.
Still shark.
Are
Yeah,
they
for a
equivalent?
second. Just
Yeah, just like if you can imagine a shark shrugging.
in a scene that's far enough away from any of you guys to be able to see. Actually, except for Kalenor, you're right on the beach. You see one of the kids has come back to collect their balls, sees it's not there, and then sees a giant shark on a ship just standing bipedal doing this back and forth.
Yeah, you're welcome. That it could have eaten you.
Where's my ball?
The shark took it.
All he sees Riaris just holding it.
No, it's on the ship. Yeah, no, I don't think you can see that far. I think the shark is definitely more noticeable than a brown ball on a brown ship. Yeah, okay, cool. The kid just, can you get it back?
I can try.
Okay, thanks, lady. And just walks away. Doesn't tell you where he's going. Just
Yeah, just like, meh, I said I'd try. I didn't mean it. Like you said, promises can be broken. I didn't promise anything.
That's fair.
Ogre, I assume you eventually go back to ogre form as you guys are now on the beach.
Yeah. I want to say like when she gets to the beach, she's still a shark, so she like probably freaks out like dun dun dun, walks off, and then just turns fully into ogre.
Beautiful. I love it.
Like the worst thing of Baywatch.
Oh, actually, I'll say, Ogre, as you, were you saying you jump back into the water and act like a shark till you get to the beach?
Yeah, just swim up to the, because she wants to go to where all the tents are, so she just, it's easier if I just, like, completely not thinking shark, bad, on beach.
Beautiful. Yeah, you pop up. You become you do the James Bond thing now, but you're a shark, and now an ogre. As you hear a voice behind you. All right then. Well, it's oh, thank God. As you see coming up out of the water is Urian, who has a full trident out in front. Oh, okay. Thank God. I thought you were shark coming to eat the children. Hi, I'm Urian.
No, Riavar said that was what Kalenor's doing.
I don't
What?
know what those are. I'm gonna say you guys are kind of like on the beach now at this point. So like from afar, about 10 feet out. Urian does not seem for those that thinks that they would kind of connect with this. Urian does not seem to recognize you all. Hello, I'm Urian. Are you all here for beach day?
Yeah, I guess so.
Great. Well,
Caleb, are you done with those children? Are you done with,
Yeah, they-
whatever you had to do with them? I'm sure it was, yeah.
Super important for sure.
Are you sure they don't want that back? Like, it's just up there.
No,
Are
it's
we gonna-
no, it's ogres now.
Is it real? Is it a
Yeah.
real coconut, or is it like...
I think so. I don't know. I didn't test
I
it.
have to get a coconut.
Oh my god. You
Do
guys
you have
gonna
giant
actually
coconuts? Is that part of the festival, or the day?
Do I
or
have
the
giant
beach day?
coconuts?
No, you
Well,
see-
that is very personal to ask, sir.
Yoon,
But yes, I do.
very prying.
Well, I'm sorry. I came into this late, and I have no idea.
I'm
what
sorry,
you're
you said
talking
yes,
about.
you do? Is that what? What?
What?
I am a. My name is Yorin, and I'm a purveyor of underwater treasures. So I have a small. You'll have to kind of get into the water a little bit. But I have a small tent just off to the side. My sister's helping me out today. And feel free to stop by and check out and see if there's anything that might have some earrings that will look great on any of your ears. You all have ears, yes? Great.
Well, where's Car?
You don't see Car?
Has anyone seen Car? I'm sure your wares are great. Did you figure out legs yet?
Okay, well,
You can't ask someone if they've just figured out like you.
oh, no,
Okay,
you can,
well-
and you did. It's fine.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It's just a little early to be insulted.
There's nothing
In that
insulting
way.
about his legs aren't better than a flipper. Right?
Yeah, yep,
Whatever,
yep.
you know.
Well,
We'll
One's not better than
definitely.
the other is what I'm saying. You know, otherwise you're insulting the entire mermaid population.
You know, I have a lot of brothers and sisters that would say, "Come here and say that to me," but I don't. You're right. I'm wrong.
Maybe legs are an assertive thing.
Where did you say your stall was? We'll visit later, perhaps.
You know, if you have the time, it's not a. It's
Right.
just it's
Sounds like
over there,
it.
and just starts to kind of like drift away.
Ogre hopes you have a good morning.
Not likely. Beautiful. Cool. So, do you guys like head over to the stalls? Most of them are in the process of like still setting up, which also like point of order, like there's like a sort of a weird sort of like level of like island time as you look at this and see like it's probably like 11, maybe noon. Granted, there's not much you guys can say because you slept in, but like they're just setting up now, like that sort of thing.
Love it.
But yeah,
I would. Do we know that Zed went to Carvis's? If not, I would like to ask Ogra.
yeah,
Ogra, did you follow him? We lost Zed. Is he gone?
Ogre
Where's he
just
gonna go?
thought if he didn't go into the deep part of the ocean, he just went around and onto the beach, so he's somewhere over there. So it's
Okay.
good, right?
I mean, I think we just need to let him. We can't imprison him. He's not a
Well-
prisoner. So he comes back or he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, where's he?
Yeah.
Honestly, where's he gonna go? He's like a teenager.
Well,
You have to let him run away and then wait for him to come back.
Well, this is a little bit more consistent to what our Zed did. Ran off on his own.
well, if he gets killed by the sea witch, so be it.
That is a concern, but if he was that, we can't just watch him and never have him go into the water again.
That is. I don't like the fact that you're right about that. You're
yeah,
not wrong.
Like, kill me once, shame on me. Kill me twice,
Shame on you.
Maybe it'll help him trust us if we just trust him, right? And just say, here we are.
Riaris, you get a message in your head that has this moment of like this. Riaris, I can kind of see you from afar. Don't worry about it. Just wanted to let you know I am around, just waiting on someone. But Zed just walked by. Looked like he was heading over to Carvis's.
Good morning, Nala. Thanks. Sounds good. See you soon. You seem.
This is Car.
Car. Good to see you. Good morning.
I sound nothing like Car.
I
I would say I also thought it was Nala.
No,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's 100% fair.
Okay. Good morning, Car. Thanks. Yeah, he just swam away, and we'll see you. I think that message drips off. I don't know if I'm at the 20 or 25 words, but I'm going to say that I am.
Beautiful.
Car's fine.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, Car messaged me. He said he saw Zed by Carvis's. He's waiting for someone. I can assume it's Nala.
Maybe.
Seemed a little
I feel like he'd be more
irritated.
direct, but
Yeah, I don't
either
know.
way,
Just
as
said
long
he
as
was
he's
waiting for
okay.
someone.
He's kind of technically a buddy system. He's around Zed, and it's fine.
Yeah, that didn't work out. We've already lost two
He's the
people
one
by
person who
themselves.
can
All right.
actually talk to people when he's alone. So you know.
Oh, buddy system. Ogre puts her hand on Kaelinor. Buddy system.
Beautiful.
Yay.
Ian just looks at Riaris. Cool.
Wait, let's go
shopping
get a
or
drink.
something. That's fair
Drink,
enough.
shopping.
Maybe there's a
Okay.
drink.
Beautiful.
Some breakfast.
Yeah.
Ogre looks at
Need a
the
mimosa.
sun. It's not even noon yet.
Drink
Oh,
bottle,
nasty.
eating a breakfast drink.
As you all are heading out, first off, Zed, you head to Carvis's abode. You knock on the door, and no one answers.
Fuck. There has to be a way in.
You try to find a way in.
Yeah, he's gonna spend a little bit of time looking around.
You got it. We'll see you in an hour. Cool. So as you all start to walk towards the festival, you notice there are, as I mentioned, there are a number of different tents that are up. You also notice some familiar figures as you see. Let me make sure I get through all of these here. You see both Yef and Isabel setting up their little like kind of I say tent. It's just a tarp over. If that makes sense, tarp and sticks. So just blocking out the sun basically. And you notice that Yef is working on like getting the like sort of like tent pole sort of up, and Isabel is dragging this full like Santa Claus style sort of like filled to the brim sort of like but gray sack that she's just dragging down the beach towards the tent. Looks to be relatively pretty heavy. You notice you see a figure with like sort of like these sort of like larger sort of ram horns. As you see Hilly is like just carefully sort of placing out some things in her tent. You see Lagoon, who is preparing some like sort of like plates, and you see that there is a looks to be like a large glass cylinder that looks to have like some sort of spout sticking out of it. You see there are two sort of smaller figures that you don't necessarily recognize that look like they're actually they're pretty much all fully set up, as it almost looks like a tiny sort of like forest or garden like around them, as it looks like there are just different sort of plants in pots that are surrounding around them, and then also on the table. And then you also see Dolph that is standing next to his tent that is fully ready to go, that is just basically kind of like stocked full of just random things, anything from clothes to like jewelry, stuff like that. You'll notice more as you kind of get a little closer. Okay. Where do you guys want to go?
Seeing Hilly, I will look at Kaeliner and the group in general and say, anybody want some tea? This feels like a good morning for a little drink. Hilly's usually got some good stuff.
Oh, she has a beautiful assortment of teas in her home. Can we? And looks at like you and an ogre like, say yes, please, please. There's a little glint of like, say yes, we're getting tea. I would like tea. It's just like tea. Listen, if this is her special interest, it's her special interest. It's just like tea and weapons.
And you can get some tea to come onto the ship with us.
Yeah. So let's
Maybe
get
a
some hot
teapot.
leaf juice.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing. Let's get some tea. Tea.
Hot, hot leaf. You and I'm about to open your eyes. And I kind of like push you into Hilly's like, no, you gotta try all these.
Away from use, that sounds like a threat.
Yeah. I'm about to open your eyes. Beautiful. You head over to Hilly's tent. You see her kind of like just sort of like positioning her like herbs and like supplements just sort of right, and then sees you come. Oh. Well, hi there. Welcome, everybody.
Morning, Hilly.
Good morning. Can I interest you in some of my herbal fragrances, some supplements here and there, and also we have a plethora of different herbs for teas and poultices and whatnot.
I think Kay can't really contain their excitement a little bit and is like, absolutely, and like puts an arm on your shoulder. My good friend here hasn't tried your beautiful assortment of different teas and perhaps referred to tea as hot leaf juice. So, I mean, if you have any samples that we could try.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, what are you in the mood for here? We have some jungle mint, dreamer's drift, tempest ginger, sea breeze blossom, stormleaf sleep.
Something with some wake up in it.
Well, definitely not the stormleaf sleep. Let's see. How about the sunrise hibiscus?
Ooh, that
Sure.
sounds fancy.
Very well. You see her kind of like hold a cup in her hands, pour some water into it. Just give me 1 minute.
So it's hot water, and then you put leaves in it, right? That's the whole. I've seen people do it. I've just, it's
But there's a whole process. There's the steeping of the tea.
I learned quickly, Yoon, there's like a thing involved. I don't know if it makes sense, but it's worth it.
it's big back in Chukan. It just never caught on with me.
Why would it okay.
You see as the water sort of starts to boil, she kind of like takes these very like deep red. They kind of like look like bay leaves in the tea. And now the trick is to make sure that you only leave them in for about 10 seconds. And there we go. And kind of hands it to you, Yoon.
Beautiful.
You take a sip.
Well, it might be hot.
We're all looking at you. Very
We're both
Yeah,
Yeah,
staring.
everybody's looking at you. Tilly's just kind of waiting patiently. Just
It would have burned my mouth.
You did see me warm it with my hand, right? You take a sip of it. Yoon, give me a perception check.
15.
15, nice. Cool. So first off, like even like as you're like noticing like everybody's staring at you, there is a moment where you actually like have it like kind of come through your nostrils, and you feel like you've heard like of like teas to like kind of like wake you up before, and typically they would have some sort of like mentholic sort of like thing to like wake up your senses. This actually feels very different. You have a moment where you're like you're noticing that there's like a sense of like just like a hint of like sort of like a cinnamon that's enough to kind of like sort of like wake up like the like capillaries and kind of open. But as you take a drink of it, first off, yeah, it's a little hot, but it's you also notice that as it goes down, you feel like there's a moment where it feels like it is at first burning, and then you notice that it seems to like be something that seems to spread out from the center of your chest to your entire body. With a 15, you feel like in a way like you're not only ready to take on the day sort of thing. You feel like there's a possibility that if someone threw a spell at you right now, I feel like it would just bounce off. Maybe. Mechanically speaking, it's a +1 to Constitution saving throws for an hour.
Yes, that will give me a 0.
Perfect. Oh, so you really feel it. It's like it's a total like being so sensitive to
Yeah. The thing is, they always make me wake up so early. I don't think I felt awake in months. Ooh. Yeah, that's good. You sell that?
Yes, we do.
Do we even have any money? We sort of had credit from the ship, but like,
I wouldn't assume around here, as most of the vendors here are going to be pretty particular in making sure that they're making money offhand. But I will say, if you want me to,
Some money. Love
between you and I, if you want me to just check in with Carvis on it, I trust you.
What I would say is, check in with Carvis and see if he's or we're good for. How much was that? Like 100 cups of that. Whatever it would take to make about 100 cups of that. That's what I would like.
100 cups. Well, yeah. I have 10.
Okay, for 10? 9. I don't want anyone to miss out on the lovely
created
experience.
a monster.
So 9 of those.
All the best people do.
We'll say so we would do a gold package, which is about it's about a 2-day supply. So splitting that in half, we'll do 4 gold and 5 silver.
All right.
Just for the hibiscus, did we not want to get any more flavors?
Oh,
what else? You just like
ginger tea.
Yes, we do. It is not one of my best sellers because there's not much. The harsher weather usually kind of focuses on the other way. But yes, please take a look at it. And you notice the ginger tea. She kind of like starts. Do you want to try some?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, like she's kind of like she's heating up, and then she immediately takes a ginger root and is putting it in and like kind of like letting it sit for a minute. So, what is on your plan for today? Besides beach day, of course. Or actually, no, she would call it by its real name. Besides Bel Sheeman Day.
Everybody seems to be calling it Beach Day. What is Bel Sheeman Day? Is it kind of it sounds a little bit different. Is there any the lore behind this, or some sort of story behind it?
Yes, yeah. Well, as everything else, everything kind of just becomes phonetically sort of altered into a place that makes sense for everybody else. And obviously, there's going to be a lot of kids here, so Beach Day was probably easier to say. But yes, originally was Bel Sheeman Day. Beautiful path is kind of like a typical sort of translation for it. Celebrating the first time that these beautiful shores got swarmed with our people, as it were. So Yes. So it's a day of just recognizing we're, to be honest with you, as history goes back and back, it gets more and more kind of wishy-washy. But whatever we were running from at the time, we found Sway, and we use this day to celebrate it. Once a week, actually. Okay, here you go, dear.
This is
Wait,
once
this is
a week
weekly?
thing?
Yes.
Ogre sees the cup and then she remembers, wait, Winky out,
Beautiful.
and just
I love it. Cool. Yeah, give me a perception check.
that's gonna be a dirty 20.
Cool. You, Ogre, you grew up here, and before that, you kind of like grew up in a bog, which is probably just a more humid sort of version, if it could be, of that same sort of feeling. It is something that you've become incredibly used to until today. You notice it just feels a little bit hotter and stickier around, and Hilly's like kind of prepared for this. I promise you, it will come in handy when you need it, possibly for times that are a little bit more brisker than this morning. As I said, it's not one of my biggest sellers around here. And yeah, 20.
The whole time?
20 is enough that grants resistance to cold weather and cold damage for 4 hours.
For 24 hours?
4 hours.
Okay, 4 hours.
That's really
That one I can definitely do a deal for you on.
You like it, Ogre?
Yeah, like, this would come in handy if we ever had to go into snow again. Ogre hated that.
Warms you.
Hilly looks around at all of you at that. Again. Must be a story there.
Oh, that's something I meant to ask. Yeah, I meant to ask Nala about that.
Riara, you pick one. This is fun.
Move right past that.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in one of the sleepy ones, but not right now. I like kind of Yoon's reaction there, but what do you have for just, I don't know, a good, nice, easy day type of cup of tea that just gives you warmth, gives you good feelings. I'm one of those type of days.
I know just the thing. And she takes out a jar that you see actually has like has a marking on it that says CSC, and she opens it up. She goes, "This is call this Calm Sea Chamomile." Now, she kind of places one package sort of in front of you for just so that you could see it. And she says, "Now, before you are to drink this, make sure that you are. This is going to seem very strange, but you're going to want to make sure that you grab actual salt water for this. Don't worry, it's going to boil out just like anything else. But it's very important that you do that. And then also, just make sure that you let it rest on the, preferably on the deck of the ship, wherever you can just be, preferably pointing north as much as possible. It's going to get the best effect."
Okay. I'm confused, but I'm interested.
Well, it's Calm Sea Chamomile.
Just
And it
Sounds
will,
good.
it's specifically designed to be able to reduce stress and just make sure that any woes or specific things that might be frightening you, gives you a little space from that.
I mean, I don't know why you'd have any feelings like that, Hilly, that I would need something like that, but I will take it just in case.
Very nice. You want just one package?
1 or 10, who's counting? You know, it's, you know, a couple, a handful.
Okay.
I'll take 3. 3 sounds good.
Okay, 3. 3. I'll tell you what. Just 1 gold. As you were so nice to my husband June, who came up and, well, he took him for quite a ride. Just looks around everybody at that.
Yes, I was.
Where is June anyway? I was hoping to see him again. He leaves you to do all the work.
Well, it's my business, so you know, for him, he kind of he has his own thing. He likes his books, so that's his old deal. He's probably down by the library right now.
Well, thank you, Hilly. Could I also get 1 or 2 of just something for sleeping, perhaps just
Sure, yeah,
if
absolutely.
that's possible.
And then if you want to pay an extra gold. So I'll say honestly for this, I'll say mechanically speaking, don't pay anything. Go ahead and take like just 3 sort of tea bags, and go ahead just like I say for now, honestly, gang, just like mark it as a custom item and just call it what it is. But for this, so there's Stormleaf Sleep. Doesn't exactly do anything for your sleep though. Oh, sorry, it's Stormleaf Steep. I'm dumb. So yeah, so I think like just for like actual sleeping, you just pick up some just like normal tea bags.
I do want to pay her, mostly because I want to. Riaris will kind of like, sure, one moment, Hilly, and he'll turn to Yoon and kind of pull out coins and be like, Yoon, is this the right amount? I've never actually paid anybody. Is this what I have to do? Is this a gold? This
Yeah, just the
that's what it
these are
is.
the gold ones, silver,
Uh-huh.
you know, copper, and it's just 1 for 1. There's no like conversion or anything like that. And I think
Oh,
she
so
said
like 1 silver is 1 gold and 1 copper. That's what you're saying? 1 for 1? Like they're all the same?
This is you're
This is-
fucking with me.
No.
The
Not
gold
really.
one is the gold, the silver one is the silver, and the copper one is the copper. Each one is
Please
worth
tell
1.
me. At some point, Ogre comes in and starts trying to explain.
Economy. All over
I
again.
think Ogre is just like Ogre knows. Even Ogre, like this yellow one is the gold, and the silver one is silver.
This is all in front of Hilly, who's just kind of just holding back laughs.
And there's something
Okay.
called.
Okay, anyway, here you go, Hilly, and I will give her an extra gold and just throw things at her and walk away in deep embarrassment.
Hold on. Wait, no, Riaris.
It's for June as well. It's for the other night.
Paying for Yoon for the other night. Okay. And then like looks at Yoon and Ogre goes, he might want to know the how much silver equals a gold and whatnot. I think that's.
I was
what
about
he's-
to tell him that. I swear to the gods, I was about to tell him that.
Understood.
You know, you
Also,
can't.
Hilly?
You start teaching him for about 1 minute. You call. You ask him if he's fucking with you, and then he leaves.
Fair enough.
Try
Me and
taking a cue.
Riaris don't do well on the boats. Do you have something for seasickness?
I absolutely do. Let me find it. That is the Stormleaf Steep. So she grabs what looks like thyme, but it has this like very it has this like blueberry blue sort of look to it, like somewhat purple, as she is. Are you feeling all right now, dear? Do you want some for now?
Ogre doesn't need it now, but you just made it, so mind.
Okay, yeah. So she starts to kind of like make it, and she puts she like kind of grabs a little like tea bag, puts that in there, and then kind of like steeps it over. And she goes, "This is great. You know, honestly, we get maybe 2 or 3 folks around here that don't already know what everything is, but since we used to get a lot more people that would come around here to just stop in, but not as much lately."
Maybe with the Merlin look, I don't know if they're driven off, but they certainly are isolated. Maybe more people will come. Is there something that, I mean, it's not the easiest place to get to from the north, but I suppose from around the island it should have been fairly easy unless there's something cutting it off.
Well, from my understanding, there has been a little bit of an influx of piracy in the areas directly surrounding, like Faran and Valsha and whatnot.
Well, pirates
Interesting.
love tea.
Indeed, but they typically start to drive off the nice people who are going to be spending the most gold on tea.
Oh, yes. I mean, yeah. The thing is, if you bring it, yeah. Well,
But I will say this, and she kind of like, she does the thing, she does the like the old woman thing where she kind of like taps your hand and goes, "If you meet any pirates who are specifically interested in teas, you let them know that if they come nicely, I will be happy to do business with them."
I'll do that. I mean, I knew a lot. The thing about
You knows a lot of
I didn't
pirates.
get
This will
to
be good. We'll get people over
I
here,
didn't
right?
get to
Ewan?
say this to Kayla, no, but a lot of the people I know growing up drink tea. It just takes forever, and they're so formal about it. They have to like, they have their fancy teapots, and you have to sit on the ground and wait for them to pour it, and there's some sort of thing, and then they pour it over the teapot, and then and then you just sit there in silence, and you have to just think about the tea while you drink it, and it's like it's mostly green tea. Yeah, it's so. This was awesome. This was great. You heated up the tea, you put the leaf in, and then I had the water, and that was fantastic.
Well, there's a yeah, my tea usually just a little bit easier to make, but to be honest with you, I mean, there's a whole process that I have to go through each morning to make sure that it's fresh, and there's some beauty in the rituals. That might be.
Yeah, but you don't force the person you're gonna have drink it to do the ritual with you. And it's a guest thing, and I think I just got a bad impression of it. Maybe I'll give tea a second chance.
I hope you do. And maybe if you made it yourself, you would understand the process of
The painstaking
being-
labor.
just
do I
as
need a-
peaceful. Looking at Raquel.
Just as like, I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
I love that, like, she's trying to explain, like, it's peaceful and it's ritualistic. It, like, kind of, like, helps in the whole experience. And Kaelinor is
It's
like,
like-
yeah, working hard is how you get things. So you just have to work at it. Everything is pain. Life is pain, and then you get things.
Can I
Get some
just
nice
make it in
tea.
like the wok or whatever we have, whatever pans we have in the, in the kitchen? Like, do I need some sort of? Can I just heat hot water and then?
You can do that. Actually, with the steep, you can actually use this for. It doesn't have to be just for teas. You can actually use that to. It is somewhat like a time, so you can use it for your foods as well.
Do I need a special pot?
No.
They always had their special. Okay, well.
Oh, and like I think like a look of like realization kind of comes over. I see. Yes. Okay. Looks at your clothes and everything. Yes. There might be some people that recommend that you have to use this specific sort of design of something or whatever. No, it is just hot water, and the plants do most of the work.
I like that perspective. If you talk to Kavis, can you have maybe you could throw in one of these steeps for the tea, and then I guess I don't know how I was gonna drink it otherwise.
Sure. Yeah. I can do that with me, but like I said, to be honest with you, some of these other, if you said Carvis got my back, they may not. They might agree to it, but they certainly wouldn't necessarily appreciate it. For me, totally fine.
I'll just borrow money from Riara. He'll have no idea how much I'm borrowing.
All right, sounds good. Great.
But one last thing. Do you know any? It seems like you have a little bit of knowledge of the history of this town.
Mm-hmm.
Did the Booty Bay used to be anything else?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. I'm using the inspiration you just gave me.
Okay.
Okay, I'll use it for what I want. I got a 19.
Well, it has seen a number of people that have owned it over the years. Actually, surprisingly, many folk have come and gone, more than you would ever see in most other businesses. It typically wouldn't stay, a lot of times, more than a year. Well, I will say this. There's so many. It'd be hard to kind of pinpoint. Before, of course, Nala, who's been holding on to it for goodness, close to 7 or 8 years now, maybe. Could be 10. But before her, there were several people. Something that I always thought was kind of interesting is they always seem to have some sort of inclination to wearing a lot of blue clothing. And then looks over at Kale and goes, "I'm sorry, dear. Nothing like. It didn't seem like a Merlin Nook thing sort of thing at all. Just but who knows? Could just be just happenstance."
Interesting.
That is interesting. Everything could just be kind of, chance.
Could be chance. Anyways, I won't keep you. Please enjoy what I assume to be your first beach day.
You said
Belsheman Day.
I'll try to remember that. Belshim.
Which does actually, above board, translate to beautiful path in Haitian Creole.
Awesome.
The more you know. Cool. I think we probably have a time at least for one more vendor. Where do you guys want to go next? Obviously, you guys can split up if you want to.
They're just having a day, so I'm happy to go wherever. Did anybody have a place they wanted to go?
Zed, roll me, as you guys are figuring that out. Zed, give me a perception check.
13.
13. Okay, cool. Awesome. It takes about a good half hour to recognize walking through around this whole building. No way in except for the front door, besides the large windows at the top floor. That's about maybe 70 or 80 feet up. And it is, it's solid flat white. So it's, they're separate they're separate, it's dwarven made in the idea that it is so precise. It is a clear, there's no like crevices to be able to kind of crawl up into.
All right, he's gonna remember that he's seen Carr by himself.
Mhm.
So he's gonna just start heading that way.
Okay. You got it. So what is your intention here?
He's just gonna try to talk the car one-on-one to see what the difference is from his car to this car, and then just wait to be called on by Carvis.
Okay. You got it. Cool. All right. So coming back to the group, where do you guys want to be?
I want to either go see Lego or Yef. Anybody got any preference?
So you know that Lagoon has more of the Lego, has more of the food that you ate last night. That's probably his thing.
Oh, okay.
As far
I thought
as
he was
as far
he
as
said he was
supplies go.
selling, yeah, when he was selling stuff from
Yuka.
it's the name of
Yuka.
the tree. Yuka. Yeah. In many ways. Yeah. I thought it was like stuff she just collected from patrons who had paid her and thinks she was just gonna go sell
that's
junk and
funny.
stuff like
No, it's the equivalent of like a food truck, sort of like situation.
Thinking
It's the
lost and
same.
found.
It's the same restaurant, but it's closer to the water, which is
Okay.
really funny when you think about it because it's so close, anyways.
50 feet away, you know.
But the convenience, it's right there.
It's right there.
Now it's
doing a
only
great
25 feet away.
Yeah, and there's only a $5 upcharge. So per pancake.
So then Yef, or we can go see that guy that we insulted.
Yeah, Urian. He did say his sister was helping him,
I mean,
so Clem was probably there.
You know,
Focus him on
if-
going over there.
I do not mind.
If
yep,
okay,
same.
yeah, let's go see him,
Okay,
and whoever happens to be there.
beautiful. Yeah. Cool. I'll say this for because it would be further away. You do pass by Yef and Isabel's stand. So as you're doing that, you notice that there is what looks to be like various sort of like you would kind of like catch this in and I mean in all of you somewhat, but Yoon especially, as like all of these look to be like sort of like little like trinket things of like metal pieces from past sort of experiments or inventions that have failed. But there are also some things that look to be like kind of like spread out as their own sort of like product thing. But they all kind of give that sort of like quality of like, this looks like Carvis' stuff.
I think
Yeah.
as we pass by, Yoon sort of is looking at it and kind of starts to drift over, and then at some point just goes, "Oh, I'll meet you over there," and is just wandering over to the table. Yeah.
Yeah, Isabel, you can just put that over there. That works good. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. He sets up, and as you head off.
No, I meant I'm talking to them. I'm drifting over to.
Oh,
to
the-
you're drifting off to the table. Yeah, I got it.
Drawn to that and just sort of like, yeah, I'll meet you there. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, you come up and you see.
I will just say before I will say to Kaelin and Ogret, if you see anything that might be interested, let me know. And I'm gonna just stick with you because buddy system, we have to do that thing, right? So I'm gonna try
Right.
to do that.
If you say it, implement it.
Beautiful. Yeah. Cool. So we'll handle the Yef thing first. Cool. Yef comes up and goes, "Oh, hey guys. Welcome. So I know this looks like it's cool. Dad said I could do this. This is just some of like some kind of like failed inventions that still kind of do some cool stuff. So feel free to take a look around. And if there's anything like bigger that you need to, Isabel and I can help you just bring it to the ship or whatever."
Is anything here made from from you or Isabel? As I know Isabel, it's sort of like an apprenticeship thing. Does she make things too? Or is it mostly just
Isabel
the
kind of
job
like
helping.
kind of like, no, I'm just kind of sort of the helping hand with things that are around. But Yef is, he's a little bit of an inventor himself. You want to show us some stuff that you've been inventing? You see Yef, given the complexion, hard to tell, but you definitely get a feeling of like this like deep sort of like embarrassment as he's, well, I mean, we're not here for that. We're just here for some other stuff.
And if you have it, I'd love to see it. I mean,
I'm kind of here for that.
I'm not gonna compare anything.
Yeah. Persuasion check.
That'd be a 22.
So, okay, all right. So, picture you're in your house, right? And you notice the candle kind of like for your lantern that's like on the other side of the room goes out, and you're like, ah, shit, I gotta go over to the other. This is something that would convince you to possibly try to go with something that would have like a common like sort of like a electrical sort of pulse that would be able to kind of continue things going, and you can power it from afar.
I mean, I feel like most of, that I've seen a lot of things magical and whatnot, but there's not very, I don't think I've ever seen or heard of. I mean, I know what electricity is, but
yeah,
is it dangerous?
It's electricity. It's yeah. I mean, it can be, but like with this little guy, and he takes out what is the smallest, so just a dynamo. So it's basically like this, like very like weird sort of. In my head, it looks similar to like a pot for a guitar thing, but that doesn't help you guys at all. So it's just like a very small sort of cylindrical metal device. So you turn this, and then you have like you have something that is connected to it, and from the distance it's going to be able to power that on for like 3 days.
3. So this is like you said it like a candle, or like what would you power with it?
Yeah, but it's like electricity. So like, well, anything you hooked up to it. So there's like a little like sort of like so you'd like tie like a copper wire here. Typically like having like something that's going to be like shielded, not with like a shield, like it's like you put like rubber around it.
Get insulated. Yeah, I think I get some of the
Yeah.
I know. I did a lot of reading. There were some books in the library about the very basic principles of. But I knew electricity. I just had never seen it used, and that I didn't even know you could make it travel through wires. I know there are things that keep kind of. It's like a lightning thing for some things, but now I've never seen it used in this way.
And you have that in books in the library that you're at. Where's that at?
It's in Chukan. I think I mentioned this recently, but pirates. A lot of pirates aren't super big on books, but they happen across a lot of them, and so many books end up in the Aurelian family has been buying up books and also keeping the relics of the tower and the various things in that area for generations.
I got like so honestly, like I got like 20 of these, so I'll make you a deal. Okay, I will give you this, and you just like if you can find a book, or you don't have to steal it, but like if you can find just like any sort of books on electricity, and just bring it, because this nah, I'm here. So if you can just bring it, then we'll be square.
It's a deal. And just I kind of technically own that library, so we'll see. I'm sure I can borrow a book. I mean, Leo,
that's awesome,
is strict, but I'm sure I can borrow a book.
That's so
I'll
cool.
keep it in mind. We're going there soon, and if you ever, I can't vouch for the safety of it right now, but if it becomes safe, I'll let you know, and you have an open invitation to go there anytime you want.
Yeah, I would. Oh my gosh, I would love that. Yeah, and because you guys are gonna be like heading out tomorrow, right?
Likely.
Crap.
Wait,
So you didn't hear that from me. Dad was gonna surprise you because he's like really, and he hasn't been sleeping. So he's probably over there now. He's like been super excited about it. So he messaged me this morning at about way before the sun, to let me know that he's excited about it being ready. So yeah, but you didn't hear from me. Just be excited be surprised when he says it. Okay.
I will have no trouble being excited, and I promise I will do my best surprised expression.
Great. Cool. Hey, and honestly, guys, kind of like looks over at Isabel and so we actually found all this stuff in the warehouse. And so I would say like whatever really like kind of spurred me into like thinking like that would be a good idea to go. Like if that was a person, I would tell them like, I would like owe them a lot because, this was an idea that I was able to kind of shoot by my dad, and like, Isabel and I have kind of been heading this up. So this is our first beach day. If there was someone to thank, I would thank them about it. You see, roll for Isabel. Nope. Isabel is just like kind of like going through like some sort of like chess sort of thing. It doesn't really like isn't connecting at all.
Well, I'm sure if that person heard you, that they'd say you're welcome, and it was a pleasure, and it's it was interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would.
Yeah, they would say that. They would say that. Oh, hey. So yeah, what else do you want? So looks over at Yaris, goes, what else do you want? Like way too forcedly. And we're gonna pause you guys there as we'll come over to Kaelinor and Ogra. Kaelinor, Ogra, you guys get about maybe about 30 feet before you recognize Clem, who I'll say Kaelinor. Kaelinor and Ogra. I like it. Kaelinor and Ogra, go ahead and roll me an insight check.
$13.
13? Okay.
18.
18. Clem definitely saw you both and did this like very like kind of like moment of like just like looking around, like kind of like wiping her hands and stuff, and then seeing you and then immediately looking down at what she was doing. I think you recognize it as just odd.
Well, that was strange. Okay, I think there's an eyebrow raise, like, right. But if we're near the stall, I'm like, oh, wait, do you want to, I don't know what they sell, but like jewelry maybe and things like that. And I'll go over and peruse a little bit. But if Ogra decides like distance, if Clem wants to, I don't know, maybe speak to Ogra, I am very much like, when you have your friend, you kind of stalk when they've gone on a date and you're like, I don't know, I need to check the vibe. I'm just like behind the booth being like, just hovering.
Cool.
Ogra's just like going over to where Kaelinor is and like, Ogra doesn't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything.
No,
If someone wants to apologize, I say this is like just going through like, what's that?
Oh wait. Okay, so you're at the table now.
Yeah, for walking up
Okay.
still.
You got
It's
it.
like-
Cool. I think like as you're walking up, you see there is another moment where you see like Clem with like just the hair like kind of like immediately going up really quick as she ducks under the table. So once you're approaching, she is under the table right now. Fucking shit! Get over it. Get over.
Can I knock on the bar counter?
Yeah.
Like, hello?
What? Oh, yeah, fuck. Can you hold on to this for me? And puts a little sort of like miniature crab. It's a crab about this big, and has like little like has a little like red ruby like right in the center of its body, of its carapace, I guess. As it just plops it kind of like in your hands. Sorry, I gotta get the rest of these. They all kind of got out. Guys, come.
I turn and look at Ogra, being like, "Oh,
Okay. Hi. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell. But you can give this. Give it back. Okay. Welcome. Welcome.
Morning.
Morning. It's the Urian the Merman's ocean trinkets in Clem. Urian the Merman in Clem's ocean's trinkets, I guess, or whatever, however you want to say it. And you notice that it is mostly like jewelry, but a lot of it is like very like sea glass and like shell like sort of design around there. I'll say feel free to like have conversation, but I'll say both of you go ahead and roll me a d10.
D10. Four.
4.
one."
1. Great. This actually, I think this makes a lot of sense. Cool. Ogra, so at some point in the conversation, you're going to notice that there is a compass that looks to be like fully encrusted in coral. Keonor, you notice that there is a very like slim sort of black string that has just a single blue pearl that is on the that is on it. Nothing else. Very, very simplistic.
Oka's just whispering, like even like turning her back around, saying, "Oka doesn't know what to say."
I will turn to look at her. It's fine, you don't. There's nothing you need to say. Someone else should maybe say
Okay.
something.
Yeah, I get it. You guys,
Got it? Yeah?
if you guys want
And
to, I get it.
turn back
I was a
to-
Go ahead.
I know, I was gonna say, I turn Ogre around to like,
You turn Ogre around.
just like,
Okay. He like gives you a look. Fine. Ogre, I was she has an accent. I'm so sorry, gang. I totally forget what it is. Is it like a faint Irish accent? Was that what it was? Yeah? Okay, thank you.
some sort of low, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Ogre, so that's not whatever. Ogre, I'm really, I was such a bitch, and I am a bitch for sometimes, and I was sorry, and I didn't mean to make you feel anything at all. Anything at all. I mean, I didn't mean to make you feel. So, because the thing is, like with, I often, Urian is so easy to make fun of, and I wasn't trying to make fun of you. I was just, you get into this like rhythm, and I'm sorry. that was super rude of me, and yeah, apologize. You want a crab?
Okay. Ogra accepts your apologies, and she wasn't that. Ogra's really bad at talking like this because she doesn't know like the rules behind this because it's very different.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, totally doesn't get that at all. Yeah. Well, and she shakes the box. That is just like it's like a tub. You see, like it is all crabs with like different sort of like bejeweled heads. Okay. Here you go.
The whole thing.
Scott. No. Sorry. No. You can only pick one, but it is going to act like you're. It'll kind of act like a familiar for you. For as long as it survives.
Oh, Zed may like one of these.
It's just called having a pet.
Yeah, it's just a pet. It's just a pet. Now it will like it has like a variant sort of like connection of like it can bring you things, but it's just a fucking pet.
It's just it'll act like a familiar until it
Yeah.
dies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, oh.
It's a familiar, but not from any sort of spatial realm. When it dies, it is dead.
Ogra's just gonna plop her hand in and pick one.
Beautiful. You got it. Okay. You grab one that has it has a so like you're just like you're grabbing like whatever, like you're not really like looking at it. Cool. You notice that there is you grab one that has just a it's green. It's like it's the sea glass sort of green that has like is set up in like a pyramid in the front of its face. But you notice that it's a nose for a smiley face that is made out of like this silvery sort of like sedimentary sort of sand that is marked out into a smile, and then there's one like open eye and the other one looks like it's winking.
You think Zed would like this one?
Maybe. I think it also suits you too.
Ogra
Yeah,
has to keep
yeah.
it now.
That's a good one.
Sorry, do they all want to be here willingly?
No.
Crabs.
No.
So what?
But all the more reason for you to buy one, because then they don't have
Well-
to climb on top of each other like this. Between you and me, this is fully my brother's idea of trying to get more people to be interested in the jewelry.
Well, okay, well, I understand that, but I don't think harming... I mean, it's not harming Russian life, but your brother's the man. What do I know? I'm gonna go look at... I'm just saying. But I will take one to save it from itself.
No, I kind of agree. Except for... looks at you in a space of like, you trying to trap me in something? Except for that one. They all kind of look... that one looks good. Some of them just look ridiculous with all the... It looks like there's just like trash on them. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I mean, I don't want to...
I mean, they can't feel it. That's the thing. So I assume. I don't know. I was never good at the whole, like, animal handling thing, obviously. Anyway, so we have some jewel that doesn't run away.
Great, yeah, I'll look at that first and then maybe come back and... I might free the crabs. I don't...
Hey, as long as I'm not here, that's totally fine with me.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you notice the pearl, and that's about it. Ogre, you notice the compass.
Where did you get the compass from?
Ogre, roll me a vibe check. Roll me a persuasion check.
Can I give the help action by just
Yeah.
by not being a bitch to Clem?
Yeah.
Being the wingman.
Being the wingman.
Okay, that's way better. That's another dirty 20.
Cool. Awesome. Also give me an Arcana check.
Ew.
Kaelin, you could
That's
also help out
0.
in this if you would like.
Yes, I will. I was like, I'm divine sensing shit. I don't know. I'm like, how do I
would say-
help with Arcana?
Also, Kaelin, you could actually roll instead of Ogre if you'd like, if your Arcana is not
It's a plus
really
1.
bad.
I got
I think it's still...
-3.
Oh, I will.
Yeah.
I will roll my Arcana.
Yeah.
If I can roll above a 10, that's a 10.
Okay, 10's enough. You see that you get a feeling that this compass, as you look at first sort of thoughts, Ogre, do you think that Ogre knows how a compass works?
I want to say she knows what a compass is and kind of how it works because she's really good at survival. And
Sure.
we've probably taken a lot of them as goblins because they were fun little clicky clacks.
You got it. Cool. You see it's a broken compass. It looks like it is pointing. You notice that it's definitely broken because it is pointing south. Yeah, it's just pointing south and calling it north. Yeah. Do you? I mean, it clearly doesn't work. You can have it.
Not everything has to work the right way.
Yeah, I didn't mean it wasn't. Yeah, I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, over. That's how I feel most days, Clem. And I come over and look at the compass and be like, oh, that's weird. Why is it? Does it really
do you pick it
not
up?
work? Yes, I will pick it up. Does it really not work? But how about if we... I'm gonna try and turn it and see if I can, like, flip it, basically, like, instead of if it's south, like, try and turn it around and be like, okay, pretend it's facing north. Maybe that will, if I turn it south, maybe that'll think it's being north.
You got it. Yeah, you turn your body and you see it still pointing south.
Strange.
But Ogre likes it. It makes it
It's-
unique.
It does, it's very cool. And I'll hand it back to Ogre.
Yeah, you can have. I'm very. I could just tell my brother that someone stole it, or they bought it. That makes more sense. They bought it, and then I'll
No.
cook the books.
At least let Ogre trade for it.
Oh, no, I have some sort of money on
Okay.
me. I can pay for it.
Ogre's just doing like,
So-
Oh. You know, I thought we'd be okay. I don't have money.
and she's just going through her bag and like looks at something. And it's like, and pulls out a rock. and slides it to her.
You pull out a rock, and there's a moment that I think I don't know if Ogre picks this up, but Kaelinor, like you clearly pick up a thing of like Clem is saying, whatever she is pulling out of her bag, I'm going to say is amazing. So it immediately like, oh wow, holy, did you get the? Wow, you're okay.
Now- This is one of Ogre's like really big treasures because it's very unique, like the compass. And then she's gonna turn it around.
Okay. Oh, and it's like the amethyst sort of like look inside of it.
In the shape of a heart.
Oh, beautiful.
So cute.
Oh my gosh.
This has been
she,
on my
like-
desk the entire time we've been playing.
She takes it and she kind of turns around. Oh, wow. This is for the shop. Yeah,
For the compass, yeah.
yeah, for the shop. Purple is my favorite color. So that's interesting. That's nice. I think I'm gonna just, because there's a whole like processing thing that we have to do in trading, so I can't just like put it on the counter for,
Okay.
So I'll just make sure that we put it behind here in a bag that's labeled Clem.
Can I insight check Clem to be like, this is flirting? This is definitely flirting.
Yeah, give me an insight
Like,
check.
just like, this is oddly suspicious behavior. Does Clem like Ogre?
Yeah, go for it.
19.
Ogre's just like turning around, and you can just see her face is starting to turn a little pink.
Beautiful. Yeah, so it is a first off, yes, Clem definitely likes Ogre. 2, there's also the sense of like I'm giving a lot of like step-by-step instructions to be able to sort of figure out whether or not you meant to give this to me or to trade to the business.
Yeah, I think Kay clocked that and looked at Ogre and be like, just thumbs up silently as Clem turns like,
Yeah, like you said, you don't need the money for it, so it can be just for Clem to have.
Okay.
Not her brother. Like, definitely not for her brother.
Cool.
Cool. And then Ogre's just gonna like awkwardly walk away.
Walk away. Yeah. Beautiful.
okay, that's right. And I will show Clem the pale blue necklace on just a black chain and be like, is this... Can I
Just take
take...
it. Just take it.
Is it? No, but... Okay,
yeah, just take it.
I'll just go into my little, like... I have a little pocket pouch, but like, I just put 2 gold on the counter. If it's more,
Okay.
let me know.
Yeah, no, it's not. Great. Awesome.
And I will...
Cool.
And I will look at Clem and be like, little smug. Hi, Clem.
Bye.
And I follow Ogre.
Beautiful. Great. I'll say eventually over the course of time, you guys would eventually try to get these things identified. So I'm going to just save you the trouble here and just do this. The Nautilus compass, the very, very simple magical charm to it. This compass always will point towards the nearest large body of salt water within a mile. And then the Pearl of Aquatic Whispering has a name that makes it sound so much cooler than it is. Holding the pearl up to your ear, Kaelinor, allows you to hear faint ocean sounds.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Hey, guys, it's a flea market.
Yeah, if it's magical at all, you know.
If it's magical at all. Yeah, exactly. But you never know. Those could
I love
come
her
in
compass,
use.
Okay?
Yeah. Those could be useful.
Or you can pick up a shell, you know.
Or you can pick up a
Same
shell.
thing, but-
Yeah, it is.
Shell.
It is. The pearl one is really hard to make a case for. But I mean, also I'll say it says 1 mile. I'll say it's 10 miles. We'll make it a little more useful. For the compass,
10 miles?
10 miles. Cool. With that, we will cut back to Riaris with Yef and Isabel.
I don't know that Riaris. I have a lot to do here. I think he completely checked out with the concept of electricity and whatever the heck they were talking about, and so I think Riaris was picking up weird odds and ends and just kind of picking them up and putting them down. And
Okay.
is a little bit is like shocked when Yef like approaches him like, "What do you want?" He's like, what is this?" And he holds, I don't know, whatever he holds up. Some
Beautiful.
little trinket.
I think it's a D10. So go ahead and roll a D10.
Sure. Sorry, just gonna reload here. That is a 5.
Okay, cool. There's a lot of shit. Just give me a second. God, that's funny. Let me look at one other list to see if that's. Oh, what's the safe? You said 5?
Yep.
Okay, cool. As you say, like, I don't know how much is this, you pick up. Hold on. No, I think I'm gonna. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do that. So you see there is a what looks to be like a obsidian sort of black square rock, like a polished sort of square rock that is looks like it has like a leather rope that like is enough for like a choker or like something for like a wrist for a bracelet. And as you pick it up, you hear maybe I should help her out. That's fine. From the rock. And everybody hears that too. What? Oh, that thing. Yeah, that's broken.
Yeah. Okay.
So what it's supposed to do is to be able to make it so that you can speak something into it, and then it would be repeated whenever you want for the amount of time that you want, and you can turn it on whenever you want. This one seems to like to talk sporadically and apparently say things that no one said. You get that last part was definitely not true.
Oh, yeah, that sounded like you. I wasn't sure what that. That's well, okay. Is it fixable, or
Yeah, could
is there
be.
a thing? I mean, am I just gonna hear your voice if I? I don't want that. No offense. No. Okay.
Well, I did. I mean, first off, who's to say that's my voice on there? Then you hear it like, you should have picked it up. I don't know why you didn't just. God, you're so dumb. Okay, cool. So do you want it?
Can I try to read him in the moment what's going out to see if try to read his face as if is he thinking this at the moment, essentially?
Yeah, good
Picking
question.
up
Yeah,
those
give
thoughts.
me. I'd say honestly, like I think an Arcana check would give you like the clearest sort of point of what this is.
Ooh, yeah, I have no idea. That's a 6.
Okay, cool. With a 6, I will say this is enough. With a 6, it doesn't seem like it's reading his thoughts, because Isabel right now is not necessarily picking up anything heavy.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, it could be fixed to say things that people actually have said, or
Right. Well, I can't fix it. You can fix it. Maybe someone will come next week and they'll buy it from you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. That's a good idea. And he pushes it into your hand. That's a good idea. Yeah, I'll just. Yeah, no, I'll make sure that. Isabel, did you find that thing?
The thing that's over there. What is?
Dude, I don't. That's okay. That's definitely my voice. I said that like an hour ago. Can you just take it into? Because I said probably some more things later. So just get it out of here.
Why? No, I have the.
I don't know, man. You're an adventurer. Just find some fucking use for it. I don't know. Go.
Thanks.
And muffle it.
Got what I wanted. It's great. Oh, appreciate it.
Oh, you sure there's not other stuff that I can show you? There's this like really cool.
I wouldn't want to take everything. There's
Buzz
so many-
beetle.
A what?
No. Okay.
What's that? A buzz?
Uh,
No. Okay. Well, you done talking about electricity? Whatever that
He's
is.
just staring directly at you this whole time, just smiling, just. Yeah. You ready to?
Okay.
Riaris, have you like smothered this thing?
Yeah, I think like trying to like stash it somewhere. Yeah, for sure.
Beautiful. Yeah, you hear this like sort of faint of like.
I think I just frown at the realization of what this is. I have to carry this fucking thing around for a little bit. Just hold it there. Great. I think we're. Yep. You good, June? You look good.
Yeah. Oh,
Great.
thank you.
This is a steam tube.
I don't know what any of that means.
Well, it's supposed to kind of create like a fog cloud, but it only does it in like a really small area.
But it
And
creates...
it always goes up.
How much steam
That
comes
sounds
out of it?
interesting.
So it's a fog cloud amount of steam, but it only goes up.
I can find a use for that.
Okay. Great. Yeah. 2 gold.
Riaris? I believe I handed you back
What?
too much and maybe 2?
I'll look at you and pull out 2 of the gold pieces. Hand them over.
You
I
got
don't know. You're like, why am I paying?
Because I was arrested or put in prison, and I don't know where my money is right now. Right? This was a long time ago. Well, it was several. I don't know what. I guess someone
Okay,
took
all
my-
right,
I have a
don't.
large
Okay, all right,
pearl,
don't hurt
all right?
yourself. It's
You were
fine. It's fine.
arrested?
It's
Oh my
fine.
god, what is your life? God,
Well,
that sounds so cool.
It was
Yeah, if he's a
more just
pirate.
captured and put in a prison with the cultists that we fought. I was captured for a little while and then broke out and then
Just talk to my dad, man. Just talk to me. I don't care if I die. It's just,
I'll put a word.
We won't tell him that. I will tell you.
And
Yeah.
I will take care of the rock of self-deprecating thoughts, I guess.
What are you talking about? You
Uh,
know
what?
what?
Come on, man.
what?
I mean, that's not.
All right,
You see.
all right, you're good enough.
Cool. Thanks, man. Okay. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Great seeing you. Good luck. You guys
Thank
are
you.
a great team.
Thanks. Yeah.
Hope you're enjoying the storeroom. See ya.
You see, yeah, just like bangs the table, and all the big pieces like start to fall off. Beautiful. Zed, as you are heading off to see Carr, you see a figure just kind of like, sort of like, somewhat almost like stumbling his way up towards his house as you see Carvis.
Oh, God. You got any sleep?
I'm a dwarf. We live in the dark, so it's there's no problem. Why are you here? Where am I?
Your place?
You're like in the middle of the street. You're in the middle of the beach. The street is. All right. I was just gonna take a short little break.
Okay. Take a break at your house, I guess? Or...
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. We can just go there and then, I'll just, I'll take a nap, you'll take a nap, and then it'll be fine. Different rooms, different
You're
places.
not sleeping in my. What?
Different rooms, different places.
You're not. We're not that close. You can't be sleeping in my house.
Ah. Well, anyways, I was coming to see you about the, what I gave you. if you haven't gotten any work on it or not. I'll take that as a okay. I'll walk with you to the house, and then you can go in, and then just message me when. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. The ship's gonna be done tomorrow, and I'm gonna tell you. Just be. You guys are gonna be so surprised.
All right. Sounds wonderful.
Is it beach day?
Yeah. They said something about that.
Oh. Oh right. Yeah. Yef and Isabella down there. You can talk to them.
All right. I'll you get to your place safe. I'll go talk to them.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a nap.
All right. You do that.
And as you do that, you see flying across the sky this just jet of red and orange. You see, you see Carvis kind of look up at either we're being attacked or that's no. Why don't you go check it out and find out?
All right. Check out what's going on there, then check on Yef. Got it.
Yep. All right. You a good boy.
Yeah. Thanks.
And he heads off. You see Zed, give me a survival check.
All right. 9, but I'm going to use my inspiration for that.
Do it.
It's another 9.
Okay. Cool. I should have said this beforehand. So if you want to use your inspiration, you can, because I would say that's with advantage. So you still have your inspiration right now.
Yeah, I'll use it again.
Cool. You would have advantage on this. I apologize.
All right. 15.
50. You see that the streak in the sky, which you presume to be Nala, flew across the sky. You were heading towards her place. And as you look in the direction, you notice that she is traveling west towards the tower. And I think that's a good spot. We're going to call it there. We will see you guys next week. I love you all. Be safe. Bye-bye.
Bye.